BIU community, student community, the LSC community. Good morning to you. Um, so we're going right into this session. We are glad to be having the LSC finale, and in a few weeks or months, not even months, in a few days or weeks, many of you will cross a very important milestone. You will cease to be students of Benson Idahosa University and you will become
Correction.
its graduate. And for many of you, graduation feels like the end of a journey. But in reality, it's actually the beginning of another journey for you. So when people hear the word alumni, they often think it is simply a group of, former schoolmates, former classmates, or students. But the strongest universities in the world, like Harvard, Stanford, the Princetons, the MITs, they know something about their alumni network. They know that the alumni network is one of their greatest assets. And so take for example Harvard. For example, Harvard is a great school not just because of its great curriculum. It is a great school also because of the alumni network and what they do in the world, what they do with their degree, with their Harvard degree. So that alone gives the university the reputation that it has. So if we as BIU students becoming alumni understand this, then we should be able to use our BIU degrees that we'll be having in few weeks to do something for ourselves that will eventually rub off positively on the university and then come back to us, right? So for many of us, graduation should not feel like the end of a journey. It's actually the start of a beautiful one. And we know that you will do exploits on this new journey you are about to embark on. So, in order for us to kickstart this session, we have curated a set of alumni who has walked the same lanes, campus lanes that you have walked, and with their years of experience, they will be coming to inspire and also give you insights that we believe will be helpful for you upon graduation and even in your life beyond university. So um as we proceed, we want to say have an open mind, because sometimes the opportunities that you need could come through a conversation, it could come through a mentor, it could even come through a recommendation. And several alumni have done this for each other. I mean, I remember on my previous jobs before Benson Idahosa University, um, I previously worked at the first group at Abuja, this property development company at Dubai, and then also at another place in Lagos, Konga.com. So these jobs, I got them through alumni. So you cannot, overemphasize the importance of maintaining a solid alumni network. And it is for this purpose we are starting, or we are having this finale feature alumni that will guide you with their own career and life experiences to help you with the insights that you will need in your life post graduation. Okay, so please, as you prepare to leave the university, let's think beyond graduation. Let's think beyond our class. Let's know that we have each other, because the strength of an alumni network is not in the institution alone. It is in the willingness of us, the alumni, to stay connected with each other and support each other as well as the university in later years to come. So today's program has been designed to help you prepare for what lies ahead. And the speakers will be sharing these insights, like I said, on opportunities, career opportunities, entrepreneurship, technology, career growth, professional habits that will help you in your career spaces, whatever career means to you. For some people, they could start it with internships. For some people, it could be housemanship. For some people, it could be law school. For other people, it could be businesses, entrepreneurship. So, whatever that means to you, our speakers will be sharing insights today that we should run with. So, listen with an open mind, take notes, ask questions. There will be Q&A sessions after the speakers finish their sessions. So, ask questions and, begin to see yourself not just as a student preparing to exit the university, but as a future alumnus preparing to make meaningful impact in your future niche. So thank you so much, and I wish you a productive and enlightening session today. So I'll just leave us with this last quote, right? Your degree may open a new door. Listen, your degree may open a new door, but your network often determines how far you go after you walk through that door. Your network, it determines how far you go after you walk through that door that your degree opened. So please, let's have an open mind today. Listen to the alumni that will be speaking to us and, get the insights that you need for tomorrow. Thank you very much. So I'll hand over to our moderator, Mr. Joshua, as he leads us through this session. Mr. Joshua, please.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. Um, Thank you for being with us this morning. And ladies and gentlemen, you just heard from Mrs. Favor Omoka. She is the head officer of the alumni office of BIU, by extension, BIU LSC, as we have seen today. And we have been blessed to, have her with us today. And Rasuga, thank you so much, Ma, once again. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning, and good day to everyone who is tuning in or has tuned in already. You're welcome to the BIU Lsc Finale for the Novara class of 2026. You all have gone through an amazing time in BIU and we felt it was necessary, as is the package of the institution to, send you out with the bang, which is why we're having a session like this. So like Mr. Omoka said, we're hearing a whole lot from the alumni today, very established individuals, and we trust that you would gain a whole lot. Our first speaker is already here with us, so I'm just going to do a brief intro of this amazing, amazing person before he comes to speak with us. So he's none other than Mr. Diamond Fianca. He is an established author, a procurement and supply chain professional, a researcher. He's a mentor with extensive experience across the oil and gas, education, facilities management, and industrial services sectors. He is a chartered procurement and supply professional. He's passionate about developing people and fostering professional growth. He is committed to helping students and graduates to be like yourselves, and graduates and early career professionals unlock their potential through mentorship, career development, and lifelong learning. He's an absolutely amazing man, and he has taken out of his busy schedule today, that is, as we all know, a public holiday, to ensure that he is available for this session. So right about now, we will be inviting up to speak to us on career readiness and positioning yourself for success beyond graduation. Ladies and gentlemen, with the clapping ovation. You can also type in the comments, let us know that you're here. Please welcome with me, Mr. Diamond Fianca. Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine. Thank you, Joshua, for the
Glad to have you
intro.
on with us. I'm just going to exit the stage right now so that you can have an amazing time with the people who are here to listen to what you have to share. Looking forward to your session, sir.
Yeah, can
Thank
I
you once again.
present?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you. Give me a sec.
On your phone. On your phone. On your phone. I want to.
Can you see my screen now?
No, we cannot see your screen yet, sir.
Can you? But I'm showing presented.
That's odd.
Give me a sec. Stop screening. Give me a second. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, can you just type for me, please? Morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir. Still can't see the screen, but I guess we'll just have to go with it nonetheless. Please, you can forward the slides to Mrs. Omoka so that we can make it available to everybody who's on the session.
Okay, no problem. That's fine.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Good morning, morning, everyone. Again, if you are in Nigeria, and thank you to Mrs. Omoka for inviting me to come do this presentation today. I'm going to be talking today about career readiness and how you can position yourself for post-university, because most people think that life is all about university, but when you are done with your university, what comes next? That is the key thing that we as students about leaving the four walls of university need to understand. What do I need to do? How do I position myself for the next 5 years? So I'm going to be talking to us. The first thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to ask you a question for you. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I think this is a question that majority of us already familiar with, that either your course lecturer is telling you about, or we have invited people to come speak to you about what is, do you see yourself in the next 5 years? So this question for me is about you thinking about what career do you want? You study computer science. Computer science is very big. Computer science is a wide profession, is a wide course that is studied. Do you want to focus on software engineering? Do you want to focus on networking? Do you want to focus on information technology? So what career do you want to achieve? What impact do you want to make? What skills will you need to get to that place that you want to be in the next 5 years, in the next 1 year, or in the next 2 years, depending on how you've positioned your career post your graduation from Benson Idahosa University? What are you doing today to get there? Because most students wait till they finish their study, they've graduated, that's when they want to start thinking of what they want to do, where they want to go, how they want to go about it. So the first question that you need to ask yourself is, what am I doing today to get me to that place I want to be in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, in the next 4 years? So it all boils down to what you are doing today as a student still in Benson Idahosa University. So the reality of today's job market, you are about to go into the job market. Most of us have been, I believe, must have been working already part-time, or you have your own business. But the reality of today's job market is that the world is changing. So you don't expect what has been going on in the 90s to be going on now, or what has been going on in the early 2000s to be going on. The world is changing. The world of work is changing. The skills that they require back then might be in the 90s, might be typewriting skill. If you can use typewriter, you are as a secretary, you want to do an admin role, and you are good in typewriting. That is becoming your major qualification skill that you have. But right now in 2026, that is changing. Employers are looking for people who can adapt to any kind of work environment. So the question that you need to ask yourself or do your self-assessment is, am I adaptable? Can I be able to fit into any work environment? If I'm employed today, am I able to fit into that department that I've been employed into? I want to work in the banking sector. I want to work in the oil and gas. I want to work in the manufacturing. Can you adapt to this environment and work? Do you have problem-solving skills? So most times, some people feel that, okay, problem-solving skill, I'm not a manager, I'm not the head of department, so why do I need that? But you try to go into the job market, you need to have some skills. Do you have problem-solving skill? Do you have digital literacy skill? Most of us, if I want to ask, how many of us can use the AI tools? As a final year student in 2026, if you do not know how to use any of those AI tools, I think that you are still lagging behind. And that is where you need to start upgrading yourself to see how you can be able to be relevant with the skills that you have. Can you communicate? When BIU has given us a platform where you can volunteer to work as a student leader or CFI or RA or whatever that you want to join, or as a course rep or as a faculty rep, whatever that you can do. But do you have communication skills? Those opportunity that you have or they given to you even in BIU will build your communication skill. The question is, you want to go into the job market, can you communicate effectively? Communication is different from talking. Communication is you are in a work environment and you are dealing with someone who has 15 years experience and you just have 4 years experience, or you just have 1 year, you are just done with university and you are doing a presentation. How can you communicate that presentation to your manager, people who has 15 years experience? It's all about you having those skills. Teamwork and collaboration. How many of us have been working in a team, or you like to work alone? For me, I tend to be a mentor, right? From even in BIU, I've been organizing tutorials for people from year one till I finish my school. But one thing I realized that all those tutorials, I wasn't keeping the knowledge to myself. I was working with a group of people who are also supporting me. We all learn together. So teamwork and collaboration, how can you translate that into the work environment? Are you a good team player? Are you a good team player? Can you collaborate with other projects? Can you collaborate with other people? Leadership potential. One thing again is that, like I said, BIU has given every student a platform, an opportunity to develop those leadership skills. And you may not see the importance of them until you are done with your university. For those who are already volunteering with RA or to be a chaplain, to be a course rep, you are already having that advantage over those who does not really have those skills. But if they have those skills outside BIU, that is fine. But you need to have some leadership skill. One thing that you should remember is that what a degree, your degree will get you notice, especially if you get first class, if you have a 2-1. But what will keep you, what will give you that job, what will make employer to say, I want diamond, is that what your skills and your attitude will give you that platform to be hired. What employer really want to do? What do they really want? Beyond your academics, employers value professionalism. Employers want you to be initiative. Employers want you to be taken critically. Employers want you to have emotional intelligence. They want you to be reliable. They want you to want to keep on learning. And this is something for me, out of everything, if I'm a manager or as I lead a group of people, one thing that I'm always looking for the team I normally lead is what can you come up with some ideas? You have to be proactive. You have to come up with an initiative. How can we make Nigeria great? How can we make BIU great? We have our president, but now you are a student in BIU. What can you do to make BIU great? Initiative, critical thinking. Some of us, we just leave most of those things to our managers. But now, if you really want to be on your game, if you really want to be ready for the job market in the next 4 years, in the next 4 months or 3 months or 2 months after school, you need to ask yourself, am I a good thinker? Do I have emotional intelligence? Am I reliable? What am I learning today that is going to make me valuable in the company I want to work? Now, one thing that again that you need to do is that what you have to build your professional brand. Most people, if I ask you to do a comment now, how many of us have an updated LinkedIn profile? Not everybody. How many of us are on LinkedIn? Not everybody. How many of us are on Facebook? Virtually everybody will be on Facebook. How many of us are on Instagram? Virtually everybody's going to be on Instagram. How many of us on TikTok? Virtually everybody's going to be on TikTok. But now you want to go into the career market and you want to build your brand. Are you on LinkedIn? Your personal brand is what people think of when they hear of your name. When they hear your name, what will people think about you? Will they think about you as someone who always make some comment that are not really relevant on Instagram or on Facebook? Or when they talk about you, what would they say? Would they say this person is always on Instagram just scrolling? So what will people remember you when they hear your name? Your reputation, your professional image. So this also matters a lot as a young graduate about going to the job market. Your professional brand matters a lot. You need to see how you can be able to portray a good image. One thing that you could do is what? Create a strong LinkedIn profile, build a professional CV. Again, if I ask some people, do you have a CV? Some of us does not even have a CV. Some of us haven't even started. Some of us don't even know what to add in your CV. You need to develop a portfolio of achievement. What have you achieved? You've been in BIU. Sometimes we, maybe because of the part of the world we are in, we don't really know that those volunteering that we've been doing in BIU are valuable. You've been a chaplain, you've been an RA, you've been a course rep. Those are experiences you already have. How can you then make those experiences you have to reflect on your CV? You are you are a fresh graduate, so anybody employing someone want to see what you've been doing for the last 4 years as a student. So they want to see some skills that you've developed. They want to see some experience, volunteering experience that you've gotten. But do you have them? If you have them, are they reflecting on your CV? One thing again that you need to do is what? Maintain a positive online presence. Someone asked me, so we were having a section for a global talent visa here in the UK, and the presenter was like, when they look for your name on Google, what is going to come up? So that is, I'm going to ask you a question. Type your name, everybody on this call, type your name on Google. What is coming up? And type my name on Google. What can you find on Google? So that is to tell you that what you portray on the online matters a lot. So if you type my name, I know a lot of things going to come about my name, but you're going to see my LinkedIn profile. You're going to see my research publication. You're going to see that, okay, this guy is a pastor in the Church of God here in the United Kingdom. Again, compare with your name. When you put your name, what is going to come up for people to see? Is it your Instagram page where you said some comment that are, again, depending on what you've said on your Instagram page? So wherever information you are putting on any of the social media platform matters a lot. The reason why you see people coming over today to be able to talk about people here, especially here in the UK, is when what they posted some years ago that they can't remember, they want to bring up that image. For example, what happened to Simi? Some comment she made on it, I think on is it on Twitter several years ago that doesn't really make meaning, but what it came out recently. So it all boiled down to what we are putting on our social media platform. So this is something that I call myself beyond good grade. It's my own theory. I don't expect you to accept all of them, but this is my own theory. Good grade plus skill plus God's grace is going to give you a sustainable success. Good grades plus skill equals to is going to give you a strong opportunity to start your career to succeed in whatever you are doing. Good grades, but no skill, but you have the grace of God. You are a believer, a Christian. That means you have an untapped potential. You have good grades, but there's no skill. You have an untapped potential that you can rely on. What you need to do is to learn some skills. You have poor grade, but you have strong skill. But and also you have the grace of God as a believer, as a Christian. Then you have a remarkable success starting the beginning. You have poor grades, you have no skill, you have no direction. There is a greater challenge for you. So, what category do you find yourself today as someone about living BIU? Do you have good grace? Do you have skill? Do you have the grace of God backing you up in everything you do? Do you have good grace and do you have skill, which will give you a strong opportunity to start your career? Do you have good grace, but you do not have skill, but you have God's grace, you have the grace of God guiding you? You have a potential that you need to work to start working on the skill. Do you have poor grade, but you have skill and you have the grace of God backing you up? Continue to build yourself up so that you can be more relevant. Do you have poor grades and you have no skill or you have no direction? Then you have a bigger challenge ahead of you. What you need to do. Thank God for this session that is being organized by the Alumni Office and BRU for you to now start working on yourself. What skill do I need to have? What can I do differently? Grace may open doors for you, skill create value, and faith, resilience, and perseverance will help you to sustain your success. It will help your grace. We're going to give you some opportunities, but what will sustain you is the skill you have, the value you are bringing, what you are doing in that company that you're going to work tomorrow. What will make you stand out? The question that you should ask yourself today again is what makes you different from Diamond? What makes you different from Mrs. Amoka? What makes you different from Mr. Joshua? What makes you different from over 10 or 20 customers that you have? What will make you stand out? That is very key. That is very important. There are two categories of people. Again, this is my own theory and my own philosophy. We have the average graduate. They have a degree. They wait for opportunity. They apply for jobs. They focus on qualifications. Why exceptional graduate, they have a degree, they have experience, they create opportunity. So they don't wait for the opportunity to come. They network strategically. So the question is, who are the circle of people you have in your network? And what? They focus on creating value. So what is your end goal? Are you focused on creating value? So the power of networking. Opportunity often come through people. Like now today, I have the opportunity to be able to do this presentation on career readiness because I've been able to maintain a close network with Mr. Moka even after I'm done with university over 10 years ago. But just imagine I don't have that close network, a close relationship, or I do not have close contact with Mr. Moka. Will she call me to come and be one of the guest speakers today? No. But because I've been able to position myself in a way that even though I'm not in BRU, there are still some key people I still need to maintain that relationship with. So opportunities often come through people. Networking can help you learn about industry. It can help you access hidden opportunities. You can gain mentors, build a professional relationship. Then what are the platforms that you can mentor? You can be able to network. We have LinkedIn. If you are a final year student and you don't have a professional LinkedIn profile, please, at the end of this section, go and meet either Mrs. Omoka or someone to help you look at your profile. If you want to drop me a message, I'm on LinkedIn, look for my name. So you have to be able to ensure that what you are LinkedIn. Alumni network, when they say join this alumni group, are you there? Professional bodies, you are an accountant. Are you part of the AC? Is it ACA they call it in Nigeria? Do you attend career fairs? Do you attend industry events? So these are some of the areas that you can network to be able to gain the experience you need, meet some mentors you need. When I came into the UK for the first time, I want to work in procurement, and I joined this mentorship cycle where my mentor was working in Coca-Cola, was one of the head of the department of Coca-Cola. I had a 1-hour call with him, and what he told me helped me today after that call. And today I'm grateful that I took that 1-hour mentorship call with him. So look for where you can be able to network. Developing employability skill that will make you employable. We have the technical skill, industry knowledge, digital competency. You need to have data analysis. You don't have to be a computer science to have some basic knowledge about Excel, about PowerPoint, about Arrow, about whatever, about RS is. Yes, Arrow is what most people, if you're in social science, you use Arrow. So you need to learn some data analysis skill. Transferable skill that you can learn that if in case you don't have them is communication, leadership, teamwork, time management, problem solving skill. For you to be employable, you must have knowledge, you must have skill, you must have the right attitude. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is employment or postgraduate study. If you leave BIU, what is your next phase? Do you want to go for postgraduate like your master, or do you want to start looking for a place to work, or do you want to start your business? So making the right choice matters a lot for you as a final year student right now. When I was in BIU, I had a plan where I want to work. I wanted to do my master's immediately. And there are three places I said I'm going to work as a in my lifetime where I would love to work: oil and gas, education, technology, information technology. But today I've worked in the education sector, I've worked in the oil and gas sector, I've partly worked in the IT sector, not directly working with people like Amazon and all, but I had a plan, this industry, the sector I want to work. Today I've worked in two of them. So what sector do you want to work? What industry do you want to work? What area are you looking at to work? Why do I want to study postgraduate? That is the question you need to ask if you want to do masters, if you want to go for any postgraduate course. Does it align with my career goals? What skill do I need first? Will industrial experience benefit me? Choose purposefully, not because you're unsure of what to do next. I have Reverend Obada Sam, who was one of my lecturers back in BIU. In one of our final sessions that day, we were having a session on Saturday. He called few of us, and our HOD was there to ask us to support them with some stuff. And that Saturday, in front of the faculty department door, Reverend Obada said, if you have a job and you are going for your master, pick up the job and go about do the masters later. He was sharing his own experience of what he went through inside pros with us. Do you know what happened after I finished BIU? I was in that position. I got a scholarship to come study in the UK back in 2017. Then I got a job to work in the oil and gas in 2017. So that day, that discussion we had with Reverend Samuel Pada changed my mindset. So what happened? I pick up the job. I declined the scholarship. I said, okay, let the first people go so that what I will then plan for my master's. And he said what? Because when you start working, most companies will not sponsor you or they'll give you an opportunity to do your master's. So, and that was what happened. So while I was working in Nigeria in the oil and gas sector, I did my MBA online. So I got my master's. Then when it's time for me to now say, okay, let me plan my next phase because I really want to have an international experience. So I applied for my master's in the UK. And I came to the UK, did my master's. Today, I have my master's. I have an MBA. I have a master's degree in supply chain management. I am still doing my research. Mrs. Inyak told me something. He said, even though you don't work in education, do not stop publishing. So that mindset also gave me that after my degree in BIU, I continue to publish. If you look at ResearchGate or on Google, you will see that my papers have been cited. I have over 3,000 plus read on ResearchGate. If you check academia.com, if you're a researcher, you will see my papers there. Why? Because someone gave me some wise advice while I was about leaving BIU. So my key takeaway, what you should remember is that what your degree is the only starting point. Build your skill, not just qualification. Network intentionally, stay adaptable, and keep learning. Focus on creating value. Thank you. Yeah. Any comment, any question from anyone for me? Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, sir. That was a lot to take home, frankly. So before he leaves us, does anyone have like any question they would love to ask? I have a question though. And if you have a question, just drop your question in the comments and I'll be sure to bring it up. But I have a question. Service, can you hear me?
Yes, I
Just
can
to
hear
confirm.
you.
So my question is, today you've spoken about a lot of things from developing your skill, from picking a specific career path to doing what you've always wanted to do to being a proper professional even whilst you're about to graduate. So my question is, say for example, all the things you've spoken about, from getting a LinkedIn profile to preserving relationships to being in the right circle or spaces or volunteering, internships and like, say I have not done any of those things, not in a single one, and I'm about to graduate now, hypothetically speaking, right? My question is, what are the top three things you would, or top three or top five things you would advise me to focus on right now, so as to ensure that by the time I do graduate, I'm not, caught up in a scenario of what to do next, considering that what I'm doing right now is already late. What are the top 3 or top 5 things you would advise that students on here who might be in this predicament should focus on?
The first thing I want to do is, if you do not have a skill, number one, go learn a skill. If you whatever
Okay.
career path you are interested, go learn a skill. If you are not good with communication, if you're not good with some data analysis skill like Excel, PowerPoint, whatever skill, go learn a skill. That will be my number one thing. The number two thing I'm going to talk about, go make me some more that you want to volunteer with her. At least final year, which is coming, she will need people to volunteer with us. So go meet Mrs. Omoka. That what area can you? I'm happy to support you with any capacity. I want to volunteer to learn some experience. So volunteer. The next thing is what? Then start building your CV. If you don't have a CV, build your CV. The fourth thing, once you build your CV, create your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn in Nigeria, I think they have Indeed as well. So we have LinkedIn, we have Indeed, we have CV. I don't know that there is CV library in Nigeria. We have that, but LinkedIn is more like the most popular one that everybody uses. So LinkedIn, create your profile on LinkedIn and go to Indeed.com and other job portal to create your profile and start applying for. The last thing is once you have those done, start applying for job. Do not wait for when you get your certificate. That is a mistake that most people make. So when I came to the UK, I applied for a job the next day and I got a call for a potential job. So that is what I'm going to say, the top 5 things that you need to do.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So we have a question here from Mr. Favor. It says, for a student who's about to graduate from Department of Political Science and Public Administration and is aspiring to do masters, what career path would you advise for me to take? Because you made mention your story of masters and career path, and leaving the job and doing masters, something like that. So he's just trying to get clarity on it.
So you study political science and public administration. The question is, that is a big course. We have political science, we have public admin. Which part of this course are you really interested in? So that should guide you when you want to do your masters. So if you are more about doing the administrative aspect, then go do a master in public admin or something related to what you do. When I finished BIU, when I was in my 3rd year, I've always wanted to work with data. So I spoke with one of my course lecturer then, Mrs. Okpa, and she said, okay, go do a course on Oracle Database Management Admin. So I did an OCA certificate in my 2nd year in BIU because I love working with data. Like I said, computer science is wide, political science, public admin is wide. So the course you study, which area are you really interested? That should guide you on what master degree you should follow afterward.
Okay, that simply answers the question for Mr. Favor. Before we let you go, sir, I'm trusting that they probably have does anybody else have a question? Oh, so we have a question here. It says, what do you consider your moral philosophy for success? That by
Okay, so for
money.
me, I feel my moral philosophy for success is don't feel that you don't have what it takes to become successful. Everybody, the story of Steve Jobs, the story of Mark Zuckerberg, the story of Microsoft, everybody, they all have a mindset. The mindset is what? They don't allow failure to define them.
Very true.
So you shouldn't allow whatever circumstances or circumstances to define your success. What can you create to be successful? You are a believer, are you a Christian? Do you have the skills? Do you have what it takes to be successful? Then work on it. I was once told that what if I study computer science, I will not get a job. I mean, this was coming from one of my pastors back in Warri. And when I wanted to come and study in BI, he said, computer science is a roadside course. And I was like, what? So she said she has a friend who has 1st class degree with still looking for a job. So I went back to the church. I said, I rejected that pronunciation. I said, that is not me. And I finished with the 1st class. I got a job immediately. And today, God has been faithful. So just imagine I allowed that theory or someone telling me that what computer science, they wrote that course and people don't succeed in it. I would have possibly been in that category, but I had to reject it. I said, I am different.
Oh, that's amazing. So if you're here from CSC, obviously a good takeaway that your for your years in BI was not with a roadside course. Thank you so much, sir. We've had the amazing pleasure of hearing you speak. You've shared a lot of insightful things, and genuinely we are grateful. We know that to each and every person that was on board during the course of the session, they've taken a lot with them, and we can't thank you enough. So all the way from the UK, thank you so much, Mr. Diamond Fianca, for taking out of your time to ensure that this worked for each and every one of us. We are so grateful, sir. Please, a round of applause for him. Drop your comments in the
Thank you
section. Let's
for
show
having
him
me today. Thank you,
the
Mr.
love much
Moka, and for
deserved.
everyone listening. Congratulations in advance and wishing you good luck.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you, sir. Okay, so we just had an amazing session with Mr. Diamond Fianca. It was absolutely superb. Before we continue, we want to hear once again from Head Officer in charge of the Alumni Office of Benson Dawson University, none other than Mrs. Favor Omoka. She will be joining us right now.
Thank you so much, Joshua. I mean, Mr. Diamond, thank you, is off the call now. But that was an insightful session. So I just want to add a little point to what all he said. He made mention of you know, create having skills. It's very important that we develop some skills before we leave. The reason
Very
is, we, as much as we know that you are from different disciplines, we have medical students, if nursing students rather, we don't have final year medical yet. Nursing
yeah,
students, we have post science students, we have accounting, we have computer science like Diamond, we have ISD, we have a whole lot of different disciplines, you know, captured here. So what will make you stand out upon leaving BIU, upon leaving your university, is the skills that you acquire. Now, like he said, if you have been opportuned to have some, you know, take up some leadership roles, that already is giving you some leadership skills right there. And through those roles, you had opportunity to, you know, communicate, you had opportunity to collaborate, you had opportunity to lead different tasks amongst between each other. You know, you know, there's something they call it. Um, there's a word they call it in, you know, in corporate, but my point is it gives you the opportunity to collaborate with each other, to be able to work on tasks together. These are different
very true.
behavioral skills that employers look out for. For example, there was a Shell interview that went on recently, right, that I was privy to. Before the interview they had tests. You know, if you are very familiar with Shell and their employment systems, they have this series of, you know, tests that you go through before you now, you know, get ready for their physical or their virtual interview that they call you on. So those tests, they don't talk about your real, as much as we know that Shell employs from 2-1 up. Yes, we already,
Yeah,
that already weeds out, you know, the ones below that. So for when you get into this door, like I said earlier, what will keep you there is the skill that you have acquired. And you cannot acquire those skills if you don't put yourself out there. So kudos to the people that have, you know, in the past had you know, leadership roles like chaplaincy, like class rep, like you know, meeting community committees. If you sat on committees, student committees, kudos to you, because that now can be translated into your CV as volunteer experience. In
true.
fact, yes, it is. You were not paid for it, but it can already show people or employers that, okay, this guy is not, you know, fresh off university without any experience. He already
Yeah,
has some things going on for him, and then they can take you in. So it's very important that you build skills. And if you don't have any of those skills yet, please, now it's never too late to start. There are many courses online where you can even go and learn, get certifications, and add to your CV. There's Coursera, there is Skillshare, there is Allison. Get courses, you know, to help you with learning collaboration, help you learning teamwork, help you learning adaptability, how to navigate these things in workplaces. Even for entrepreneurs, people that own businesses, you will need all these skills with your customers and, you know, vendors that you work together with to have your business go through. So it is very important that you have these skills, these requisite skills at your fingertips. Okay. And then to our healthcare people, there are some people that I would recommend you follow online. People like there's a zini lady on Instagram. Follow her. There are different healthcare programs that she puts that you can specialize in. Med lab students, nursing students. I mean, it was on her page I discovered that there were other courses or programs like cardiovascular, cardiovac, what they call this thing now, like a radio tech degree. So my point is, don't limit yourself to just nursing because it's competitive. It is competitive. Some of us tomorrow we may not have jobs waiting for us that some other people might be fortunate to have. So we have to, rise through the ranks. We have to put in the work. So you have to think out of the box. Some of us, we already know we are doing businesses. We already started doing the business from school. That's fine. But for other people that would want to lead out careers for themselves, think out the box. Follow these people online that recommend different other programs that you can jump on, and especially in the current age we are in, where you can just be at the comfort of your home, apply for jobs abroad, and you get sponsorship. So think
Yeah.
out of the box. Follow these people. This lady is Zini on Zini, ZY.NNIE. She will be a very valuable resource for you, especially you guys in the healthcare. And the good thing about it is even people without healthcare backgrounds can even pivot. So my point is, look for people that look out for people that will help you in a way build skills that you need for where you're going. He talked about LinkedIn profile. A lot of us have TikTok accounts where, in fact, we're influencers. We're making the monies already online. Good for you. I mean, you're already one of the 1% that is already cracking the code, right? But it doesn't stop there. Go on LinkedIn. Life, you cannot predict the outcome of life. We can do so much to, do our part, do what we need to do. But sometimes life goes other routes that you don't expect. So it's good that you prepare yourself for whatever comes. Okay, be proactive. Go on LinkedIn, create your professional page. If you are a business person, put it out there. Can't limit yourself to just doing business. You can be called to come and talk to other people on how to do business. So there's another arm in your business side that can mentor the next generation of entrepreneurs. You can't have those connections if you don't have a LinkedIn profile. You understand?
Yeah.
Somebody I know from this our Benin city here got gigs to go speak on just teaching people how to start business. So don't just limit yourself to, oh, I already have a TikTok account. I'm making my dollars already. Find another niche inside your entrepreneurship, speaking gig, like I just said. Create a LinkedIn profile. Put yourself out there. Be visible, right? And then before you know, opportunities start coming to you. Okay? Do not limit yourself. Build skills, the requisite skills. Follow resourceful profiles that you can learn from. If you need to pivot, don't be scared to pivot at any point in your life. If you know that the course you did may not be, may not translate to any economic value at this moment, do not be scared to pivot. Follow people that can put you, point you to these places, those opportunities, and then create your LinkedIn profile. Please do not lose out on these tips that you have been given. And above all, remember that you have God on your side. You did not come to BIU by accident. Benson Idahosa himself, the founder of our university, he never saw walls. He never saw limitations. So have that mindset. Do not see limitations. As you are living now, know that you have gotten the requisite degree, which is your first step, and then do all these things that you have been advised to do. And the sky is your starting point. And please, every BIU graduate there's a distinct confidence that every BIU graduate has. Do not forget who you are. You are a BIU graduate. You have the BIU degree. That already is a conversation starter for you when you go out. I'm telling you. I mean, I remember when I went for an interview, and the people at a fortune, a proper place. Is not. I don't do quick nonsense interviews. So my point is, the people that were there Covenant University, BIU, I think Landmark. I can't remember the fourth one. Then we had some other government, university graduates that were there. I'm not trying to downplay their school or undermine anybody's school or alma mater. But my point is, the recruiter at that point took just three of us from Covenant, BIU, and Landmark, and then one federal person, and the rest were just weeded out. You know what differentiated us? Confidence. There was this confidence about we from the private university. I don't know, maybe it's the way they just raise us. I don't know, but it distinguished us from the rest. So my point is, do not forget who you are. You are a BIU graduate. BIU graduates are doing excellently well. I mean, we have BIU grads in the political space. We have BIU grads in the there are regulators. We have BIU grads that are entrepreneurs. They are doing good. Please do not be scared to reach out to them. That's why I said create a LinkedIn profile. Go to the BIU Nigeria page. Look at the tab under alumni. Look out for the ones that are already doing well in the space where you desire to be in, and reach out to them. Your best introduction is, oh, I'm a BIU graduate like yourself, and then you continue the conversation from there. Alumni will always be ready to help you. Okay, and like you said, if you would like to volunteer, anyways, I think it's almost too late for you now. I wish we had this conversation before now. We always have the opportunity for grad students to volunteer at the alumni office. That one alone can give you a volunteering experience. We can always recommend you. We can always give you reference letters anytime you need it. So please do not sleep on these tips that you have just received. Diamond Fianca is a first class graduate of computer science, Pennsylvania University. In fact, he was the overall best graduating student at his time. He is a leading supply chain consultant in the UK. So if I were you today, if you are looking at anything supply chain, you better connect with him on LinkedIn. Tell him to, hold you by the hand and point you to how you can start a career in that area. Like I said, look out for alumni on the BIU Nigeria page. Connect with them. Let them hold you by the hand. Nobody you reach out to will tell you, oh, I don't have time for that. That's not true. We've never had any situation where we heard that, So please make sure you take advantage of these raw tips that have just been delivered to you. And I know that you are wise and you will do well with this information that you've gotten. So, Mr. Joshua, you can continue.
Wow, thank you so much, Mrs. Omoka, for your words of advice. Absolutely inspirational. Thank you so much, Ma. So far we're having an amazing session. We've had the opportunity to hear from Mr. Daniel Fianca. We've also heard from Mrs. Omoka, and she'll be with us throughout the course of the event, God willing. And right about now, we have coming up our next guest. Now, before I introduce this next guest, or before we talk about what he would be speaking with us on, I just want to quickly take out a moment to. So I've been seeing a lot of comments, like people have been reaching out talking about attendance and roll call and the likes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an important session for you. So do well to just enjoy the session, listen to as much as you can listen to, gain as much as you can gain. And then the issue of roll call or attendance will be solved eventually. But for now, we will not talk about roll call or attendance, but we can tell you this. At some points during the course of the events or the sessions, you would have roll call or attendance. I can't tell you when that would happen, but it's happening at some points. Now that we've handled that matter, thank you so much for the love you've been showing on the comments in the comment section, and we're looking forward to an amazing time with the remaining speakers we have lined up. Right, so right about now, I'm just going to do a quick introduction because the next speaker is already waiting in queue. He is none other than Mr. Chukwugozim Daniel. He is a business analyst and technology professional with 16 years working experience, both in private sector and with the government. He has done 6 years in technology consulting and systems integration in the private sector, and a decade working with the Central Bank of Nigeria at the CBN as a business process analyst. He's a data analyst and a cloud engineer. He's a certified business analyst with the International Institute of Business Analysis. He's a trained project manager. He has private sector experience, which gave him the opportunity to work alongside major tech EOMs like Microsoft, Cisco, and Oracle, providing solutions for governments and for banks. And with all this amazing stuff that he does, he is a sales enthusiast who loves solving problems and exploring innovative approaches to real world problems. Ladies and gentlemen, this wonderfully filled citation is a citation of none other than Mr. Chukwugozim Daniel Melekwe, who is here to speak with us on the digital economy. With a round of applause, and anyway, show some love in the comments. Let's make welcome Mr. Daniel Melekwe. Thank you so much, sir. Hello, good morning, sir. Can you hear me? Okay, because I can't hear you. Please, if you can hear him, type in the comment section if you can. Okay, because I can see him talking, but we can't get the audio. It might be a problem with network. Still can't hear you, sir. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Mr. Daniel on his end is going to, leave the live and come back in. That might just be a minor network glitch. But I can see so much love in the comment section. So people are already going like, "Oh, my namesake. Yeah, your namesake is here to talk with us." We have I know we can't hear him. We will hear him eventually. There might be a minor network issue. Yeah, good morning, sir. Unfortunately we can't hear you at all. This is so sad. Okay, Mr. Daniel. All right, so Mr. Daniel will be joining us very soon. It's just a minor network glitch, right? So, like I said, to all the guys who are applying to do work with Microsoft, Cisco, Apple, Oracle, those known tech companies, this is a session that you should most definitely not miss. He is prepped to deliver to all of us as much as he can, and we're trusting that network would not be an issue to this session. He's got about 16 years working experience. That's a long time since he graduated then, and he's been doing an amazing job in the spaces that matter, right? So we are honored to have him with us today. But before he joins us, because it seems like there might be network situation over at his end, before he joins us, I think he's ready for us now. Yes, sir. Okay, we still can't hear you, unfortunately. Okay, so for some reason, I don't know what it is, but we can't hear Mr. Daniel right now. And like I made mention of, during the course of the session, we having intervals where we'll have roll call. So roll call is basically your name, MAT number, and LSC number. And you just see the notification pop on your screen that it's roll call time, and then you're supposed to do so accordingly. Once notification is taken off, roll call will be over. So take, for example, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, roll call has begun. So we'll be doing this whilst we, try to sort out the issue with Mr. Daniels end, so that we can have him here with us. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Roll call is over in three, two, one. Yeah, that's done. And just for the record, this is not your attendance, like I said before. this is actually not your attendance. This is just roll call. So you can stop sending me your names and mat numbers now. Because yeah, I saw the number did spike a bit because during Mr. Diamond session we're about give or take 100 plus. Now we are somewhere close to 180. To the remaining 80 people that just came in during roll call, you are welcome. So glad to have you on. We hope you would stay till the session is over. Right. And like I said before, we're having Mr. Daniel joining us, but right now he's having a few very minor issues that will be solved, very, very, very soon. That aside, I just wanted to do a little Q&A of the first session. How many of us were around for Mr. Diamond session? If you're around for the roll call is over, you can stop now. Sincerely, you can. If you're around for Mr. Diamond session, just drop a comments. Drop a comments that you were around, and let me know what you learned. One thing in particular you learned from Mr. Daniel session. To the best comments, there would be a gift. Or to the best, let's not do the best comment. Let's do at least the best 5 comments. There would be a gift. If you are around for Mr. Diamond session, drop. I'm still seeing names, mat numbers, and LSC numbers. That's not what I'm asking for right now. Okay, good. I'm gold. Thank you. You are around. Okay. Let's know, what did you learn? Just drop a comment in section what you learned, what stood out for you for Mr. Diamond session. Yes, what you learned, what stood out for you. Just let us know. I would love to, get your idea on this. Okay, I'm seeing Aisha Favor. You were present. Good. Everybody else is dropping name, mat number, and LSC number, which is that time has passed, frankly. Right. So if you're around for Mr. Diamond session, I'd love to hear your impact on your input on it. What do you learn from session? What stood out for you? And like I said before, the roll call that just happened is not your attendance. I've made mention of that before. I'm still saying it again. It is not your attendance, not at all. Roll call was just to let us know that you are still around, to the glory of God. I'm saying this because numbers are reducing. Awesome. So we have from Blossom. She said she learned computer science is not just a street course. Blossom, are you in CSC? I said she. I hope this is a babe. Are you in CSC? We also have education is important, but skills are paramount. Grades will help you get into places, but skills will be the one to help you sustain yourself in the place you find yourself in. Awesome. Thank you so much, Isus Favor. No sound. Wait, just to be clear, can everyone still hear me? Please, if you can hear me, drop a comment. Who drops no sound? Whoever dropped this comment of no sound, that must probably be a you thing, because everybody else seems like yeah, good. I am being heard loud and clear. Glory to God. This matters to me. Right. Okay. We have Arabai says she learns that she has all it takes to be successful. Thank you so much. We also have Esther. I learned that there's more to leaving school premises, but whatever skill I learned back in school has a long way to do with my adult life. Okay, that's good. So far these comments are coming almost strictly from ladies, which is amazing. But where are the guys? Where are all the guys? We still have Miracle. Build yourself with good grades, skills, and God's grace. Mr. Favor wants to not limit itself, but don't believe other people's perceptions about your career. Super, super important. And then we have Robinson. And then that degree and skills and God's grace will create a good opportunity for you. Super, super important. So with this, I'm seeing that awesome numbers have reduced back to 140. Good. Now we're getting back to the number of people that were actually around for Mr. Diamond section. Glory to God. We also have gold. Alenda, we should go Gabriel. Alenda, we should put ourselves out there and not wait till we graduate. We should start planning now. Super, super important. And then we have Victory, and I believe this is Victory. Beautiful name. I was around and I learned that creating a good and strong LinkedIn profile would help you position yourself for the right audience. We also have this person that said, I learned that while skills and qualifications are important, the individual's emotional strength is also very important. Okay. And I'm going to take the last one now. Treasure. To put oneself out there even before graduation. Okay, Treasure, I like what you did. You sent it with like your name and your mat number. Amazing. We've passed that stage, but all good. Glory to God. So I'm going to say just this is going to be the actual last one now. Create a good LinkedIn profile, create a good CV. Do not wait till you graduate to start looking for jobs. Yeah, phenomenal. So I'm glad to see that people were actually around for the session, and you did learn a lot. Like I said from the very beginning, and like Ms. Favor said repeatedly, this session has been planned out for each and every one of you, and the aim is not attendance or roll call. The aim is to leave you with important prerequisite knowledge or information that you need to have before your graduation or now that you're about to graduate. And this is so important because you're about to go into the workspace. Some of you are about to do NYC eventually. Some of you are about to go straight to do your master's. Some of you are about to leave the country, fully understandable. Some of you are about to, dip in for internships. That is for our nursing med lab and any other course that has to do with internships immediately you graduate. And it's like, what do we give to you? What do we have for you as an institution that helps you upon your graduation and upon your leaving the four walls of Benson Dowsett University? And that is what the Life Success Center is, and that's why we're having this finale event today. So today we'll be covering a lot of conversations. We've already had career planning by Mr. Diamond Fianca. Very soon we'll be having Mr. Chukugozim Daniel join us. He's just handling a few things on his end, and he'll be with us very shortly. Wow, this is it. Okay, more comments are still coming in. Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Computer science is not a roadside course. Yeah, it's really not a roadside course. With this, you can get tech skills, healthcare roles, radio tech, cardiovascular, awesome stuff. Thank you so much. This last comment came in from Mrs. Omoka, by the way. Thank you so much, ma. So, like I said before, we would be having Mr. Daniel join us soon. But before he comes in, we've already gone through Mr. Diamond section. We've gone through the comments and the things that we've learned so far, which is a testament of the fact that we have actually been in this since the beginning of the life till now. And the truth is, if you can still till the end, you would leave with a whole lot, because there's a whole lot that's been planned for each and every one of us today. We still have one more speaker who is coming up soon. We still have one more speaker who's coming up soon. But before he comes up, we will be having with us right now none other than Mr. Chukugozim Daniel Melekwe. I hope I am pronouncing that last name right. But in case you were not around from the beginning, I'm just going to, pick out bits of his citation. He's done 16 years of work experience, both in private and in the government sector. He has worked with private known companies like Microsoft, Cisco, and Oracle and the likes, providing solutions for the government, providing solutions for individuals, and solving real world problems. And lastly, he is, like all our speakers are, a BIU alum. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please show some love in the comment section like you did before, and join me. Welcome, Mr. Daniel Melekwe. Thank you so much, sir.
Hi, thank you, and good morning. It's still morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. The glory of God.
Fantastic. Okay. Sorry, I was using a corporate system, and some settings in it would not allow that. So,
Okay.
if you don't mind, I also shared the slides ahead. Do you mind? Let's use that for the conversation, to guide conversation.
Okay.
Okay, so while that is coming up, I want to thank the organizers of this session for putting this up. My name is Chukugozin Daniel Melekwe. I think I've been introduced. I've had a bit of work experience since graduating from BIU, and it's been amazing. I'm glad that I'm having this privilege to speak to students of my university. I'm a proud alumni of Bensadoza University, and I see this as a rare privilege. When my slide comes up, please let me know. So I don't know if you can hear me, students. Please confirm if you can hear me. Let's see you on the chat. Just say yes, hello. I can hear you. I'm here to see your comments, so I'll just wait until I get that. Please, can anybody hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me. All right, okay, I've seen Favor's message. So, but I can't see my slides, so it's a bit I can't see my slides yet. Please confirm if you can see my slides, so I could just speak to it, and then move ahead. All right, I'm still waiting to get confirmation so that I can start. I'm ready from here. Just let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Hi, Favor, please confirm. I can't see my slide. Okay. All right, so can we go to the slides, please? Okay, so while we're preparing that, I'll be speaking on entrepreneurship in the digital age. The digital age is quite an interesting age. Good. Thank you so much. All right, so the digital age is quite an interesting age. It's an age of possibilities. It's the age of technology. It's the age of speed, and is the age of possibilities, right? So we are in a very good age and good time. Presenter, I'd like to start on slide 12. Go to slide 12. That's the last slide. Yes. Last slide. Okay, so before I talk about AI and the opportunities that exists, I want to talk about this. But before I say that, I also want to tell you my own little bit of my BIU experience. So I got into BIU young, naive, and slightly timid. like some of you had that experience, and also slightly confident as well. And my 4 years in BIU, I came out a refined person, more confident, more exposed, more focused, and more daring. So that was my out from BIU. And I would say that one of the best investments your parents had given to you as a human being is schooling in BIU. If you told me this when I was a student in BIU, I would possibly insult you or find other ways to make you feel bad. But coming out of BIU after my time there and all the experiences I had, especially in the marketplace, I found out that one of the best investments I was given was schooling in BIU. And as a matter of fact, just like your alumni coordinator mentioned, BIU always gives you a huge leverage amongst many other students of other universities. It gives you a good leverage. One, it shows that you're credible. You studied for what your certificate is valuable and credible, right? You just didn't buy, not like those schools where you buy your certificates. Several credibilities that it attaches to you. And apart from that, it gives you confidence to speak in the marketplace. And wherever you submit your CV. As a matter of fact, when I graduated from school, I had this joke telling myself that I can't just put my data or my details everywhere. I can't just submit my CV everywhere. Like, you know how some people's CV, you see them, if they're selling akara seller can use it just like newspaper to tie akara and sell. And that I had to go to specific places where I felt were important to drop my CVs, and that was exactly what I did. And it played out well. And one of the things that made that happen for me was because I schooled in BIU, so I was seen as a credible person. So now, as a graduating student from BIU, what are the blueprints for successful entrepreneurship or successful career experience? The first thing I would say there is observe actively, right? Train yourself to notice problems, to notice gaps, to notice inefficiency around you every day. You need to train yourself. Those things that people around you complain every day about. Is it healthcare? Is it poor transportation? Is it power supply? Is it whatever it is? Observe actively. Don't just see the problem, participate in the problem. Participate in understanding what the problem is. Ask questions. That's one of the key things I want to take away from here. Ask questions. When you see something that interests you, ask questions. How is this produced? Why is this like this? How can it be better? So you must actively ask questions. Probe things. Do not accept the status quo. Do not just say this is it and that is it. No, don't just stop at that. Why is this designed this way? How was this designed this way? Who did this? What were they thinking when they did this at that time? So the next thing, you observe questions. With that, you're able to notice problems, gaps, and inefficiencies. The next thing you should do is prototyping. So you validate your ideas, right? And then look for tools that could help you create a prototype. Because most times the good thing is that you're not starting with a huge capital now. And that's a blessing, because if you have all the resources to start your business or to start your career and all that, it's going to take away some leverage from you. So you prototype your idea and see if it's feasible. Then the third thing I have here is network actively. Now, this blueprint is not just for entrepreneurship, like I said, it's also for work career. I've done private sector. I'm currently with the government at the policy and finance level, which is Central Bank of Nigeria. So I'm speaking from experience, right? The next thing you need to do is to network actively. There are several Fortune 500 companies in the US, several AI businesses that have been started by young entrepreneurs. Some of them are started even from the university. It started from an idea. I would like to do this. This problem exists, this gap exists. And then within yourselves in school there, that's where the networking starts. That's the first point of networking. Who knows how to do this? Who knows how to do that? As a matter of fact, I started making money from BIU because of the entrepreneurship mindset that I was given. I started designing hotel booking applications. I started designing, other applications in school. Now, as much as I studied computer science, I didn't really like coding, but I liked the idea of how solutions are built. So what did I do? I found my colleagues that were good at coding. I had the idea, and I negotiated with them to build at the cost, and I paid them, and I earned myself also. So that was me solving problems through my network. I've had interviews of people, in the UK, billionaires, US, that they recruited people from within their circle, from within the school, they were the school, and so let's go start this business. Of course, the interview of the CEO of Money Point a few weeks ago, he said he spoke to some first class students from his school in Nigeria here and told them that, you know what, guys, let's bet on this, let's bank, come with me, let's build something meaningful. He went back and spoke to them even after school. And most of them believed him and said, okay, let's try this. A young person like him and all that. And today, Money Point is in the billions and you have, foreign investments in it. And one of the leading banking applications. So if he had all the ideas, he didn't have people, he didn't have friends, he didn't have a network of people to work with, he wouldn't have succeeded. So network actively. Then, of course, that also brings me to people, build strong teams and partnerships, seek mentorship, scale. Now, with this era of AI, you have a lot of tools that help you scale, and social media. Back then in 2008, when I graduated, these things were not there. So your best marketing tool that time was your flyers or your word of mouth. So that was all we had at that time. But now we have, of course, the Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. What's the popular one now? Several of them. That just keep my mind. Several of them. So leverage. I'm sure that most of you are already doing that, right? So leverage Snapchats, leverage TikTok, and all of that aggressively. Do not even try to play small. Dominate your space, and build and maintain integrity. I will tell you something for free, that integrity is key in business. Integrity is key in career. Integrity is, if you're a thief, if you have a fraudulent background, you can never work in the Central Bank of Nigeria, because that is the institution that is managing the funds of the country in terms of policy. So fraud is the number one thing that you look out for. A fraudulent character, someone without integrity, cannot work there. So those are some of the key things. So you start building your integrity right from school. What are you known for? If you say you're going to deal, what are you going to deal? There are some deals in billions that sometimes a handshake happens before it's documented and it's agreed and signed up eventually, but the agreement comes from word of mouth first before it's documented. So if you say you're going to do this, would you actually stick to it, or would you cheat your partners out of it? Then build and maintain integrity. Then I'll say, okay, the God factor. When Madam Favor was speaking earlier, she mentioned, BIU and all that. I would say that amongst all, I live in Abuja, and I work in the headquarters of Central Bank of Nigeria. And I also know a number of our alumni, those that graduated from BIU years ago. A number of them are living and working in UK. Some others are also living and working in Nigeria, and some of them are in Lagos, and some of them also in Abuja here. As a matter of fact, 2 days ago, one of our BIU students, I think she was in international studies and diplomacy, Empress. She's in our procurement department in Central Bank of Nigeria. She took us on the presentation bank-wide. So there is a God factor that follows us as staff, as alumni of Pennsylvania University, right? There is a favor factor. I don't know how to explain it, but just know that the leverage you have, the benefit you have in this life is that once you come to BIU, you are a blessed person. and it works. So if you practice those principles, they could be annoying now, going to chapel, going for all those things. Initially, it was really, really very annoying because it was introduced while we were in school. It wasn't there before, but while we were in school, some of these things were introduced. Going to chapel and that, it was annoying, right? But some of those things eventually built some of our value system that we're being paid huge amounts of money today because we have those things. So that's, to me, this is the main blueprint I'll speak up on just my engagement with you. So having said this, let us go back to the presentation. Let's go back to slide 2 and let's just play through. And then we can now see how this thing details, how to leverage AI to achieve all these things we mentioned. Can you hear me? Can you see me? And hope I'm adding some value to you. I can't actively see comments from students, so I would assume that's a yes. So what we'll cover today, we'll cover the digital shifts, how AI technology is reshaping entrepreneurship globally. Now, one of the fastest growing industries to scale to that's $1 billion is the AI sector. The AI industry is one of the fastest leading sectors in the world, and that's why we're having this conversation today. As a matter of fact, when you have there are different areas of AI, right? But let me just go through the slides and while we discuss that. So the digital drifts, how AI technology is reshaping entrepreneurship globally, scaling up and turning, the value system and the value add is in billions. AI as a business tool, building solutions, going to markets, getting paid, and career edge. So I'm not just going to have this presentation. Next slide, please. We're not just going to talk through it. I'm going to show you how it relates to Nigeria. So we currently have way over 220 million Nigerians. Amongst that, 70% of us, of population of Nigeria, are under 30 years old. And I'm sure that trend, you fall in that bracket. You're way above 30 years old, and that's a huge advantage. Secondly, AI now powers product design, marketing, codes, and supports. So we also have a huge number of people like this presentation now. I had to switch to my phone to make this presentation. So the use of smartphone penetration and, of course, internet access is also real. Years ago, when you wanted to produce a digital solution, you wondered if you will be able to be reached because a number of people, both in rural and urban areas, didn't have smartphones or couldn't afford data. But now, a huge size of population now can access that. So that's a huge advantage. Of course, we have a booming fintech ecosystem that has made payments and other digital products easy. Then, of course, AI has also collapsed the cost of building softwares, content, and consumer support. I remember back in BIU, because I studied computer science in BIU, and one of the key things we had then was building websites, right? That was one of the key things I was selling at that time. But now, with AI, in 10 minutes max, or 5 minutes, or 3 minutes sometimes, you can use tools like Lovable to build a fully functional website. And then you save yourself that money. Now, of course, there are categories of website that can build, but basic functional website can start from there, and then you can develop it further, right? So that's what AI is doing now, in this day and time. Of course, then global remote work and freelance market are now accessible from a laptop, even in Benin right there. Back in the days in school, unfortunately, the only thing that was possible remotely was Yahoo. But right now, in our day and time, there are legitimate businesses you can do and legitimate services you can provide remotely. Next slide, please. So if you are going into developing AI solutions, right, or if you're even in the business phase, I mean, of any of the sectors you choose, is it healthcare? Is it hospitality? Is it technology? Is it in coding? I recall we're trying to do a particular, we're trying to enable people submit a particular documentation. There's an initiative in the office we're looking at doing, and we're asked to do that within a short period of time. And one of the things that was done was someone used a tool to start the process and eventually completed it within a shorter period of time. So one of the things I would say is that AI can be your co-founder. And in this age and time, one of my suggestions to you is that, they used to say, start with a blank page, right? Start with a blank page, start from zero. But I would say that don't start with a blank slate, right? Don't start with a blank slate. This is the age and era of speed. So whatever you're doing, make sure you move fast. Leverage. So leverage AI tools. You can also use that for branding and content development. AI is now, with AI, you can, of course, automate your social media posts, your and TikTok posts, your posts in most of these platforms. So you just create your content calendar and put those things there, and it can schedule and post those things and also tell you how to make it better. So AI is your co-founder and your support team. But meanwhile, don't also in any way neglect the human factor in all of these things. Whatever you're building, first and foremost, you're building for humans. And you're also building with humans. AI is an enabler. It doesn't take the place of that. So when you're building, they're also building products. I've mentioned how to use AI to build codes. The code assistant, you can use Claude Code, GitHub, Copilot, and the rest of that. As a matter of fact, I'll put my thoughts on, down for this presentation. And I was going to start, from a blank canvas. I told myself, why should I do that? So what I did, I spinned up Cloud on my phone and I put the topic of the presentation and some of the key things I wanted to mention. And it produced this slide for me. So what I spent at least 3 to 5 hours producing a slide like this, I did that in less than 10 minutes, at least less than 5 minutes, apart from the few other modifications I did. So this day and time, you don't need to start from zero. Use and leverage AI tools. So use AI tools to scale in marketing, in operations, and in support. Do you know that these days and time now, there are even AI tools now that even does customer support. So you don't need to spend all the money. You don't need all the money in the world to start that big idea, that big fantastic dream you have, whichever sector it is. Please, next slide. I think I'll just run through it, and I don't need to speak so much. So some of the tools you can use to create AI-powered solution in Nigeria. You have the AI assistants, you have Cloud, ChatGPT, Gemini. You can use that for research, for code writing, to generate content. There are a lot of content generation tools these days for even videos, for adverts and all that. So you can leverage some of those things to start your own media company, even while in school or even out of school. While you're at home waiting for NYSC, don't be dormant. Don't be dormant. Back in the days, you would need to, daddy need to talk to his friend or mommy to talk to a friend to help you, connect you to get you a job somewhere. From your room with these tools, you can actually start building your own company, building your own life, and providing value. There are no-code and low-code business providers, no-code builders, right? So, like I mentioned, you can use Lovable. You can use Lovable for coding. You can use Glide, Bubble, Flutterflow, WordPress, Shopify, to build websites without need to code heavily. So what you can use this to do, you can actually use this to launch your most valuable product as the MVP, core of your solution you want to provide, right? In few days, not even months. Then cloud hosting, you can also host these things online. Of course, design and media, there are tools that I'm sure that most of you would know: CapCut, Canva, 11 Labs. You can use that for voicing. For those that are interested in media and all of those things, you can leverage on that. Next slide, please. So in reaching customers, right, you can leverage on WhatsApp, WhatsApp status, WhatsApp marketplace, social media, and AI content, and logistic partners you can chat. As a matter of fact, I've done a lot of business through my WhatsApp status. I've got deals through my WhatsApp status. Yesterday, I was recommending a friend who does a real estate company to someone I'd met um about 10 years. With last time we saw was in 2016, and this is 2022. I put up a friend's picture wishing him happy birthday. He's a billionaire. He runs a real estate company and it's massive. And someone was trying to, when he saw him, like, you know this guy? Are you sure? Is it credible? And I told him I've known this guy for a long time and his business is worth way over 30, 50 billion, and he's credible. And I was talking from a position of integrity, a position of knowing this person, and even having bought properties with him as well. So you see what business, just WhatsApp status for his own business now. That recommendation I provided has given these guys, the mindset to say, okay, his staff has spoken to me, but I didn't believe him or I wasn't sure. I thought it was fraudulent. So, and now you've put your voice to it now. I think that we're going to quickly go and buy. I for one also have a hospitality business. I have some apartments, and from just putting up my service apartments on my WhatsApp status, people have reached out to me and say, "Oh, I have a client coming into town. I would like them to book to stay in your apartment and all that." And it cost me 0 naira to do that, to put on my WhatsApp status. So whatever you're doing, don't just use word of mouth. Leverage technologies that are currently available. Next slide, please. So after building solutions, you need to collect your money, right? You need a secure payment system to be able to get payment. And the beautiful thing is that these technologies were not available 10 years ago. These solutions were not available 10 years ago as an entrepreneur in Nigeria. But in your time and age, it is available. I want to say one thing to you, that these things were not made by the solutions to this problem, right, of payment system within Nigeria, making it available, making payment easily, right? It wasn't solved by old people. It wasn't solved by foreigners, right? It wasn't solved by someone that dropped down from heaven. It was solved by young Nigerians like you and I. Money Point is a young Nigerian, right? Most of his staffs are young Nigerians. Ope, yes, the founder is a Chinese guy, but there are a lot of young Nigerians that work and code for him and run other business areas. Flutterwave is fully Nigerian. Paystack is fully Nigerian. Young guys. There's actually none of these payment solution companies that their MDs or their owners are, maybe they're just maybe 40, 45, maybe 50. So there's no old man. So you don't need to be old, say, oh, I need to be an old person before I can solve problems and all that. No, that problem you've identified as an opportunity. You begin to probe it and say, why is it not possible? What can I do to make it work? How do I, make it work? And then you leverage some of these tools we mentioned. That's why I shared this slide. It's the organizers. So you can check out this slide and say, okay, how can I connect my website, for instance, for instant payments with the likes of MoneyPoint? How can I easily just set up a business account, right? I can also have a POS option. How can I do money transfers? How can I receive payment on my website? So you have the Paystack, the Flutterwave, MoneyPoint, OPay, and all of those platforms. And even now, Steph, there are things like QR code. So people can just scan a barcode on your website and make payments. And of course, you can also, with Paystack, with Flutterwave, with Pioneer, with Wise, you can also receive money cross-border. Next slide, please. So this is like a blueprint, we've talked about solutions, we've talked about what is possible, we've talked about areas, we've talked about how to receive your payment, right? So, but before you even launch out, before you go out, you have to take certain steps. There's 5 key steps. One is that thought in your mind. Oh, healthcare. People in the rural area, they're not able to get proper healthcare. How can I reach them? They need good healthcare. They don't have good healthcare centers in that location. Even if it's just a basic malaria testing they want to do, how can I solve that problem? Right? So before you launch out, before you step out, to do all of those things, you have to start lean. So you have to be able to use AI tools to be able to validate your problem, validate that problem. So how do you validate the problem? Okay, this thing I want to solve, how many people actually need it? How many people will be interested in it? Or this skill I want to learn is how much will I be paid if I have this skill? This thing I want to learn, right? So you can use AI tools to research and validate and test the demand of that problem. So after doing that, you could say, okay, the use case we're talking about here is for healthcare. Okay, maybe I can build a small website, or I can build a form, right? And say, okay, how many people want to have free malaria testing kits in their house, or how many people want to have dental care, or okay, I want to start a spa in this area. Okay, I could send to my friends that live around the area. Let me know. Just a pool. You can use your phone to do your WhatsApp to do a pool. How many of you will be interested in this? Even if it's a party, how many of you will be interested in going to a party this weekend? Or sitting out to do this weekend. So you can use AI tools. You can leverage existing tools to build, after validating, to build those solutions, right? So you build, you validate, then you build. And then you can build a prototype. You don't need to build the entire thing. You can just have a prototype. This prototype is a smaller version of what you want to build, the basic, most idealistic version of that. Then after that, you test the market. You test the market, you put it on your WhatsApp. Is this sellable? Do people like it? You put it on other social media platforms. You can create, I want to do Coca-Cola Coke currently has a lot of sugar in it. I want to use natural fruit to also provide refreshments, Zobo and all of that, or provide sweet, nicer flavors. Then you market it, you put your stuff. Okay, I have this very interesting fruit drink I'm selling. Put on your WhatsApp status, you create adverts for it, you market it. And of course, you sell. The marketplace will sell. You can also market, from your marketing, you sell. And then, of course, you get paid. Send me your account number to pay. You can easily just send it via WhatsApp. Or this day, you can even send a link, and someone clicks on the link and puts in their payment code, or put in the payment amount and pay for that item. Next slide, please. I think I interrupt. My time is okay. So, as a career person, you don't need to be a founder to benefit from AI skills, right? You can also be a valuable employee, consultant, or a freelancer. The first place I worked in a consulting firm. The difference between you and the person next to you was what you know. Knowledge. We brag in knowledge, and which is still very, very valid today. But with AI helps you to bridge that gap, that knowledge gap. So whatever you don't know, you can easily just check on AI and get a level of knowledge from it, right? And then from there, you can now build up. So you don't need to spend several hours learning some skills. They are already easily learnable and available for you in small chunks that you can actually, learn. So you can use AI for productivity, for continuous learning, for creative outputs, presentations, designs, proposals, and all that. And then freelancing globally. There are a lot of you that I think that are currently making money while in school, or now you're graduated, or even this period you'll be at home. There are lots of tools that can help you enhance, your writing skills, your coding, and all that. Even your speaking, communication is very, very, very important. It's a key skill you need to also learn. And with AI, you can easily learn that. Next slide, please. So, key takeaway for me to you is start small, build with AI, sell locally, get paid instantly. So, pick a real problem, a problem to you or your community faces. Prototype that problem, the solution you want to provide. Prototype a solution using AI tools. Do that this month. Then set up a pay stack in a Flutterwave account to get paid. Before you can even, after prototyping your solution and putting it out there, if people want to pay, you can start with your normal bank transfers, which is now easy to do and confirmable within seconds, right? And then from there, you can integrate Paystack and Flutterwave into those solutions. People can just pay. In fact, I think from TikTok too, people get paid from TikTok. So that also works. Then also connect with mentors, alumni, and BIU Entrepreneurship Network. This has been said. The only thing I want to say is this. So of these conversations that you're being exposed to today, we didn't have that opportunity while in BIU. We had a bit of that that prepared our minds, to desire that, to do that. But now you're even having much more higher engagements, so, and then when you come out, please don't just be by yourself alone. Try to connect with other members, other alumni, other ex-BIU students. I can tell you that for those I know, right, 90% of BIU students are doing well. 90%. So for those that will say, oh, I don't want to just mix up with anybody and just with those that are successful, 90% of people I know are doing well, ex-BIU students. So you're sure that you're in good company. So connect. And if you put all these things together, okay, so the next slide is 10 tools for ideation. So these tools, these tools, you can just look through them, and we've touched on some of them. So let's go to the next one. Next slide. All right. So we started with this. We started with this slide, and this is for business or for career. I would like to tell you that this is your blueprint, right? Either as a business person or as a career person. The most important takeaway from this is always learn to solve problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the opportunity you get, and the bigger the business value and money you're able to attract. So be an active problem solver wherever you go, within the continent, within the country, within your community. And another thing I want to say is think globally. If you reside in Benin City, don't allow Benin City limit your scope of thinking. You are as big as your thoughts. You're as big as your mind, right? One of the things that our chancellor told us while in school was that if you can think it, you can achieve it. That was Archbishop Margaret Benson Idahosa. She told us, if you can think it, you can achieve it. And not just that I will work here, not just I will work with government, I have a number of enterprises that, because of my being a student of BIU, I was able to actively and confidently attempt. And I had a success from some of them. So you too can also be a huge success. So thank you so much for your time. If there are questions, I'd like to entertain questions now if I still have that time. Thank you. Over to you, coordinator.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Shortly, please, before you go, if you have questions right about now, this would be a good time to ask your questions. He's still here with us, connected on live. If you have any question for Mr. Daniel, that was an absolutely amazing session. Thank you so much, sir. Please, if you have questions, make use of the comment section. He would love to hear your questions, and he's still with us to, give us feedback or inputs on the questions asked. But sir, I have a question. This is maybe my own personal question. So when you were talking about the AI tools, you made mention of Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, and somewhere in the mix there's Siri. My question is, amongst all these AI tools, especially for someone who is maybe in business, because the AI tools you brought up were at least as pertaining to personal growth and business, which one of these tools is like the best to use?
Okay, so so presentation, right? Communication skills, right?
Yeah.
Is a key skill that every successful person has. And you cannot communicate without presenting. In some cases, especially when you're speaking to a large audience, right?
Okay.
So for
Sure.
presentation, you can easily put your thoughts on cloud. One of the things I didn't mention is that you must learn how to prompt. The AI tools, there are AI tools that are generative AIs. One of the skills you need to develop there is learning how to prompt. So things like cloud is very good. Cloud is one of the top,
All right.
one of the very best.
Claudia,
Can you
yeah,
hear
you
me?
go. Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah. So cloud is very good. ChatGPT is also good. Gemini is also good. For visibility, right? Beyond your social media tools, which your TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, and all that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may need to have a website. Or if you are
Okay.
providing a service, even if you're a consultant, oh, I know how to, I know how to, what sector now? Um, I have a spa or I'm a spa consultant, right? I don't
Yeah.
have a spa itself, but I can come to your house to provide massage service or a professional place, right? Or I'm looking for just a personal service. You will need to
Okay.
even have a website for that. Or I have the best jollof rice joints in Benin City. When you put that up on your Snapchat or your TikTok, and you put a website, I myself that stays in Abuja, before I come, I may see you on TikTok, right? I may see your videos and all that. Like whenever I'm in Benin, I want to try these jollof rice spots. And I now I see that you have a website. I check your website. I see people's reviews. I see people's comments from there. Like,
True.
oh wow, more. This is credible. And some websites too, you can even make payments. There are some restaurants here in Abuja that you cannot just go walk up there and just sit down and no, you have to make reservations. So some of these tools you can easily use Lovable, for instance, to put up a website. Do you understand? So
Yes,
there are a
sir.
number of them. There are a number of them. A number of those tools. For those that code, also cloud is also good. ChatGPT. I'm sure that those that code they already know some of these tools I'm mentioning. The
Yeah.
computer science students and other students in other faculties that are tech savvy, right? They know this and they know of that. Of course, WordPress is also there too, and there are other low code. Of course, GitHub for storing your codes and code management and all that. So these are some of the tools that are currently there and they're easy to use, easy to learn. For designs, for those that are interested in media, media is a high-paying skill. I think everybody is in the media business. Even if you sell sand, you must advertise it,
True.
right? So for designs, you need things like Canva, you need things like CapCut, you need things like 11 Labs for voiceovers and all that. So these are good marketing tools. So these are some of the AI tools that I would say I'm familiar. There are lots of others. There's a lot of SEO3. There are lots of others for content creation, especially. And this is the age of content creation. Take your phones, don't just use them to snap stuff. Take your phones, create content and monetize it. Learn how to create content and monetize it. And these days, this is the age of independence, right? What I mean by that is that you don't need to find a job in a place, or you could be working as a staff in an organization, and in the evening you are a content creator. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Because all you need is just your phone and good lighting and what to say and how to say it in an interesting way. Do you understand? So that is it.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Daniel. Thank you so much. That's been an absolutely amazing session. We've waited for questions, but it seems like from the students' ends, they don't have any question yet. But please, before you leave, sir, I would be calling up Mrs. Omoka to handle this part of the session. Mrs. Omoka, thank you.
Hi, Mr. Chooks. Thank you for that insightful session. In fact, I learned for myself, you know. So I have a question for some students here that may not be able to ask this. We know now that we're in the AI digital world and people are beginning to be very knowledgeable about how to use the AI and even more ethical ways to use AI.
Yeah.
For those of us not in the entrepreneurship sector, we in the the corporates, those in healthcare, finance, how can we um choose career path, right? That AI will not take over tomorrow, because there's this frenzy about AI will take over your jobs, AI will do this, there will be an AI takeover, forgetting that there are other ages in the past where computer almost threatened people's lives. Computer age, what else now? Different other inventions, at their different points in time had the same frenzy of, oh, your jobs are going to be threatened, But now it's the AI's turn. So how can we look out for jobs that are not going to be threatened by the, AI takeover? Or is there a way we can use AI to even secure our jobs more, much better, or more securely?
Okay, thank you so much for that. That's a very important question. First and foremost, in fact, it's so important that in the Central Bank of Nigeria, where I work, these conversations are also there, right? And in most other sectors, these conversations are also there. Will AI take my job? Will AI do this? Will AI do that? But the truth is that AI would not take your jobs. But there is a condition for that. You need to participate in the AI age to be relevant. So let me give you a scenario. Um, there was a time where there were no computers at all. Everything was done brain and paper. Computations were manual. I recall even my grandmom, when she's doing competition, she was a business person, she was a trader, and then she had restaurants. Even till her old age, when she's sleeping, unconscious, when she's sleeping, her fingers are moving. She's counting money also consciously, because that was how she was taught to do computations, right? And then now we enter the computer age. It will interest you to know that one funny assignment I was given in BIE while I was there was for us to design a calculator. And it was a big deal at that time. Using Visual Studio and Pascal and all those annoying programming language at that time. But those things are evolution. There was a time also that if you don't know how to use a computer, people started with typewriters down to, okay, learn how to use laptops. Then if you go and you're typing, you go to cyber cafe and you're hearing someone typing and smashing like, man, this guy is good, right? To now we all doing these things effortlessly,
Right.
everybody. And children these days, they wake up to technology.
That's right.
Not like people that grew to use technology. Children these days, people are born into technology these days. One of the most interesting devices to children is phones. Anything that has lights, they're
Yeah.
interested in, and moving pictures, they're interested in it. So the AI also is also a phase, right? We need to embrace. The beautiful thing about AI is that it gives us speed and it reduces
Right.
cost in certain ways, right? So what I would say is this: the fear of AI cannot do everything. AI cannot farm. AI cannot run agriculture, right? AI can complement healthcare, but it cannot take the place of human surgeon or nurse administering stuff to you, right? But with AI, them using AI, they can simulate scenarios of that particular cause for that particular illness and say, okay, these are, and then they have a wider reach of knowledge to leverage on, right? Before it's just you and your medical director that had he was the go-to person for everything. But now you can get that answer from through AI and then take it to him and say, this is what I think may be wrong with this patient. What do you think? At that time, you're not just sourcing the information, you're validating the information. Do you get? So he can now use with experience. That's where the human factor comes in. That's the
Exactly.
man in the middle of AI, right? Because there's
Right.
always, for ethical use of AI, there has to be a human interface to that. You can't just take AI and just say, because I got this from AI is correct. No, AI is not 100% correct. You have to validate and verify AI before you use it. And there's all the disclaimer in all AI tools. So what I'm trying to say is that learn prompting, learn how to use these AI tools to prompt, to ask questions. This presentation was done with AI. Do you understand? A lot can be done with AI. So But when you take, yeah, you don't just take it hook, line, and sinker. You have to put in your thoughts too. But it just makes your work easier and smarter, right? So AI will not take your jobs, but the people that know how to use AI may take your jobs. Did you get that? Yeah. So that's where we all need to consciously upskill. And then one thing that everybody needs to have is curiosity. We need to be all curious people. We cannot just be non-active. So explore these tools and benefit from it. Thank you. Any other questions?
Beautiful. Thank you very much. Please hope you listen to that part. The people with AI, the people that are savvy with AI will take over the jobs, not AI taking over your job. So that frenzy should be off this space. Right. And then I think I saw another question, Joshua. A student asked a question about being okay. Bernard is asking. He said, "Good morning, sir. Don't you think before using AI in any field, you have to at least have a solid idea on the subject or field you want to apply it in?" So this question is from Bernard.
Fantastic question, Bernard. Thank you so much. First and foremost, one of the reasons why I like Bernard is that one of the rules to success is to ask questions. Always ask questions and always question things. Why? That word why is a key factor for success, right? Even if the person is an expert, explain to me why this is like this. I'm not saying you're not right, but explain to me why it's like that. So for Bernard, back to your question, right? Before using AI in any field, you said you have to at least have a solid idea on the subject or field. So yes, like I mentioned, one of the things you can use AI to do is research. This area that I think that I want to solve, who has solved a problem in that area? What's the size of the customers or the people that need this solution? So you can use AI in expanding your knowledge in that area before even thinking of solving it. You must know and validate your problem first before you go and solve it. Do you understand? So, yes, you need to have a solid knowledge in that field before solving it, right? Before using AI to solve it. But you can also use AI to expand the reach of your research. That's what I'm trying to say. There's some problems that you think, oh, this problem exists. Let me imagine if you currently web development, web design might still be sellable in Benin. I don't know the level of, but I know there are lots of smart people there. But beyond that, there are lots of people that if you're just a developer and that's all you do, you can still use AI to do it, right? You can still use AI to do it, but you can do it faster and you can do more. So rather than building one website in 2 weeks, you can build 5 websites in 2 weeks, leveraging AI. But you must understand your problem. So yes, research is good. Research is good. And then also it doesn't take away the part of you also asking questions physically. Because apart from the online, using AI and all that to get to validate your ask people around. Local transportation, AI may not be able to solve that. Do you understand? Local compute, AI may not be able to solve that. I don't know what the current population size of BIU is for now, for instance. But if I was a student there with the experience I have now, what I would do is I would look for these scooters that not the bike scooters, there's this stuff that I'm trying to get a name. You could just stand on and electric and it could take you to your destination. So there are short distances that you can easily just go. You can go without spending a lot of money. Some universities abroad and some places, some people have been able to create or bring those tools, those commute tools to be able to do that. So in some countries, students use bicycles from point A to point B. But I know in Nigeria, we all like to enter cars. But I'm just trying to say that there are things that AI does not know that are local to our environment or local or peculiar to our country. That
Peculiar.
through
Yeah.
asking questions, through observation, you can validate those problems. You don't need AI to do that for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chicks. It's been an insightful session. And thank you for your time, to have pulled you out of your schedule. We know
Today was
now.
an impossible day. If not for you, I would
I
have not done it. Today was
know.
an
I
impossible. I refuse.
know.
I'm not going. I'm not stepping out of my house today. I have a lot to do. But trust me.
So we thank you for, availing yourself and coming to talk to our students. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope it's been insightful for you students, and we hope you got some insights that you'll be using after your time in BIU. Okay, Mr. Chooks, thank you for your time, and we'll see you in the nearest future. We hope to bring you back on campus live physically, so you'll make your address to students in person. Thank you once again. Mr. Chooks is a BIU graduate, is a computer science graduate of Benson Idausa University. It was one of those bookworms then, but still had proper social life.
Very good
So
social life.
it was my senior by 3 years. In fact, when I was in 100 level, Chooks was already in his final year. So
Yeah.
thank you so much. He was a big brother then. So thank you so much. This is what we're talking about, networking. Maintain your connections in
Yeah.
school, because you don't know when you will need them later in life. And I was telling them before you came in, I said my previous jobs before now came through alumni connections.
Yeah.
So it's important you maintain these relationships. We're not telling you to have relationships with people that don't have sense. Please, we're not saying underrate anybody. You don't know who will be something tomorrow, but then make sure you have proper relationships that that in the future you guys will both rub each other, and you will have beautiful business partnership, whatever it is that you're going to make out of those connections tomorrow. And don't forget, connect with alumni. Go on LinkedIn, BIU Nigeria page, the tab alumni, click on it, find the ones that are in your niche, your desired niche, and reach out to them, connect with them, say hello. Your icebreaker is your BIU degree that they also have. So please make sure you make use of these insights. Thank you so much, Mr. Chooks, for coming.
Thank you so much. I appreciate. Thanks for the opportunity to speak to students of BIU.
Thank
I'm
you.
glad I had this rare privilege.
Thank you.
I'm available other times if other opportunities come up to also
Thank
contribute
you.
back to the system that gave us this platform. Thank you so much and God
Yeah,
bless you.
thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Have a nice day. All right, Mr. Joshua. So, students, I hope you're here, you're engaged, you're having the time of, I hope you are making good use of this time.
Very
Okay.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you
So,
very much, Mr. Daniel. Thank you so much, Mrs. Walker. We've been having an amazing session since the very beginning, from Mr. Diamond to Mr. Daniel. And right about now, we'll be having our third speaker coming up. He's none other than Mr. Justin. So I'm just going to quickly go through his wonderful citation just to, welcome him properly. So Mr. Justin is a dynamic organizational strategist with growing expertise in financial modeling, tax consultancy, and public financial management. He's a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and an associate of Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. He serves as the principal partner at Advanced Edge Consulting, a business, finance, and management consulting firm. He currently serves on several public and private sector boards. He's also Director of Policy Planning and Research at the Edo State Ministry of Finance. His areas of expertise include fiscal strategy, paper development, public debt management, budgeting, taxation, business and project financing, public policy formulation and implementation. He is a forward thinker and a collaborative team player. He's passionate about leveraging his skills and experience to help organizations achieve their strategic objectives, improve performance, and create lasting value. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us to speak on workplace transitions none other than Mr. Justin Omoridium. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello, good
Yes, sir.
afternoon.
We can hear you
My
loud
name
and
is
clear.
Usahon Justin Amorojo is my name. I'm also a graduate of the Benson Alpha University, and thank you for having me. I'd like to thank Mrs. Amoka and the LSC team for availing me this opportunity to speak to prospective graduates of, I think that should be 2026 set, right? 2026 set, right?
Yes,
Can you
sir.
tell me? Thank you. So I've been asked to speak on workplace transitions and professional habits for career and financial growth. I have before now shared the slide with him. I don't know if you can display that
Yes,
for
sir.
the benefit. It's just going to be like a talking notes for me. Now, if you look at this, I intentionally selected the pictures you can see here, and you will see. Let's say this represents you, who is currently on campus now, wherever you are, and ahead of you is your career. And you see there's a corporate world ahead of you, but there's something beautiful ahead of you too. It is the light that is in front of you. Um, Now, as you're standing there, there's a lot of possibilities ahead of you. There's almost nothing impossible that you can achieve. But we then need to put certain things in place to ensure that in a few years from now, we will look back and say, okay, uh, it has been a good journey so far. Because one thing that we must continue to do if we are going to achieve whatever we desire to achieve, whatever we call success, or whatever we define as success, is going to be largely dependent on some kind of activities that we put ourselves into and habits that we decide to exhibit on a daily basis. So it's important. So I'd like you to go to the next step, the next slide. Let me ask the question there. Okay, now I want everyone to imagine it's 5 years from today. Now you have the career you want, you are financially free, and all the money you need, you have it, and you are actually enjoying your life. Now, how many of you really want this reality? But the way this platform is set, you may not be able to answer me right now. But within yourself, I want you to ask yourself, do I want this reality? Is this the kind of life I want to live? Another thing you have to ask yourself again is because sometimes when you look at yourself and you are thinking, what is even there for me? Sometimes it's confusing. I'm about to graduate. Are you really terrified that this might not also happen? I'll give you an instance. When I graduated from Benson University, I really didn't know what was there for me, what was going to happen. All we just thought of was after this phase of our life, we'll go and get a job and we'll start working. But as I began to work, I began to do a lot of things. I now understand better that it is better for me, even while I'm graduating now, to already have a picture of what I want to do in life. To already have a picture, a mental picture of where I want to be in the next 1 year, in the next 3 years, and probably in the next 5 years, and even in the next 10 years. I've moved from one job to another. And what made me move at most point is when I discovered that this job I'm currently on, the highest position in this job is not the kind of life I want to live. So I have to leave that job. At the point I left that job to a less paying job because the highest position in that less paying job looks like the kind of life I want to live. So I have to pay that sacrifice and all that. And I also look at the job that I was going to move into. I also saw that it creates the kind of environment I want to play in. And it creates the kind of flexibility that will also help me achieve some other goals that I want to achieve. So it became important for me to be able to picture where I want to be in the next 2 years, next 3 years, next 10 years. And the truth is, we keep working towards that. All that we are doing is every day we put one block on the other. And the good thing is, somehow we are getting to where we desire to be as we are, pictured it. It may not, the truth is, it's not going to be easy. It's not a smooth ride like a linear line that you just keep walking on straight and nothing happens. Sometimes you are pushed up. Sometimes you really don't feel like, showing up the next day. Sometimes the challenges are much, the tasks are there, and you are wondering, oh, how am I going to navigate all these activities? What should I just give up? Should I just focus on this small part and just try to patch this and live on this? No. Every day we must keep showing up. And that is one very important thing that I've learned in this whole journey. So I would like you to go to the next slide. So I'll quickly take this and share some experience, ask questions and all that. Okay. Now, why do we need to have this conversation? Now, this conversation matters for the following reason. Graduation is a milestone. It is not the destination, you know. Now you are graduating, you are happy. On that graduation day, you're going to put on the best outfit you can get. You're going to have your family and friends come celebrate with you. You know, it's just like a puzzle. That stage that you're in is like the entry level of that puzzle. I must tell you this, you're about to engage a higher level of the puzzle. And the truth is, you probably don't know what is stored for you in that puzzle. But the good thing is this, if you can solve that puzzle, then the world is there to celebrate you. What you're about to get now is a degree. It's not the bus stop. Don't say, oh, I've gotten this, let me go and relax. No, you're just starting. That is just the truth. You're just starting. So this degree unlocks initial doors. But the dynamic long-term execution.
Mr. Justin, sir, sorry. Yeah, we can hear you, but we are getting complaints that we can't hear too clearly. So would it be possible for you to disconnect from your Bluetooth device and just go?
All right,
that might be the problem.
All right. Oh, confirm if you can hear me better.
This is much better. This is much better. Thank you, sir.
This is much better, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. So I apologize for that you couldn't hear me properly. I apologize for that. So, like I said earlier, the graduation is just a milestone. Consider it a puzzle that you're about to solve the beginner stage. And like I said, there's still a lot of learning to happen. There's a lot ahead of us. And the truth is, what is ahead of us, is bigger than we can imagine. And if you are like me, that at the point of graduation, I didn't really know exactly what was going to happen to me, I think you should learn from this. What you can do, maybe after now, when you get back to your hostel, maybe after this presentation, is to sit down, take a pen and paper, and begin to, dream. Begin to write on paper what you want to achieve in the next 1 year after graduation. Because the truth is, when you're done now, you're probably going to go back to your parents' house. You're going to, some persons will go back to their parents' house. Some of them will go to wherever they are going to. Some of you already have 1 or 2 businesses you're doing, you are into in school, and you are going to continue with that. But I need you to write down, what do I want to achieve after now, in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, in the next 4 years. And during the course of this presentation, we'll present you with some tools, some advice that will help you in doing this. Is that all right? Okay, now we have established that your degree just unlocks potential doors or initial doors for you. But dynamic long-term execution dictates your ceiling in a fast-evolving corporate environment. So what are we saying? What we are saying is this: you have gotten your degree, but there's a lot that will need to still happen. If I'm an accountant, for instance, I should know, this is what I didn't know initially, but I should know now, if I'm on this platform, that now that I just have an accounting degree, I probably need to become a professional to achieve the kind of desired earnings I want. I probably need to become a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, or I probably need to write the ACC exam and become a chartered accountant. Or if my intentions are to relocate out of Nigeria and probably go to Canada
or go to the United States, or go to the UK. I should be able to know what professional exam aligns with that country of choice. That if I am able to complete now, when I go there, it will give me a leverage, it will give me an advantage over others that don't have that. I have a colleague, or I had a colleague who we worked together in the same office before now. And at the time I was leaving my job, he was also leaving. I was going to another job. He was moving to the US. Now he got to the US and had opportunity to get a job that will pay him close to $10,000 per month. But guess what stopped him? A certification that he would have been able to do while he was still in Nigeria, or complete while he was still in Nigeria, but he chose not to. And now he has decided to now proceed to that certification, get it done before he will start applying again. Who knows if he will get that same opportunity? But he had the opportunity before now to do those things. And now is the time, I think after 10 years, is this time that he wants to go. And guess what? He already has family. He has children now. He has a wife, and responsibilities have increased. But you are different. Your responsibilities are lighter now. It is time to go into developing yourself for the kind of future that you want to see. It is time to go into additional certifications for the kind of future you want to see. It is beyond just holding a BSc. There are some persons who are going to live and graduate with you now, and they are going to become, in the next 5 years, the kind of positions they will hold. You'll be surprised. But don't be that guy that will be surprised. Be the guy or be the lady that will be in that place where others will see and they'll be wondering, how did she do this? It is important. You must develop yourself. The best asset you can carry everywhere is yourself, what you have built within you. Because when you're at the point that you get to some offices, some boardrooms, it is not your certificate they are looking for. They just want you to open your mouth and speak, and they will see your capacity. And guess what will happen if you smash it? Guess what will happen if you smash it? I have entered into some boardrooms, some rooms where decisions will be taken, and I meet fellow BIU graduates, and we get really excited about it because I see how they are, the kind of presentations they make. I see that they are doing wonderful things, and I'm really happy. And so we share contact again, and we will connect and all that. It's a beautiful thing. The best you can do for yourself is to develop yourself. Let them take everything away from you. Let them take your certificate away. Let it get burned. Let flood come and carry everything. But what is inside you will always recreate success. And that's the truth. That's the best asset you can have. Personal development. I want you to know that the corporate world is evolving. There are smart people everywhere. There are technically gifted people everywhere. But be part of them. Let it be that you are one of those people we are talking about. It is critical. I want you to also know that the marketplace or the market rewards value and character. Now, modern workplaces are not going to pay you simply because, for instance, I have an MBA. I have a CITN. I have ICANN certificate. I have a communication certificate from the university in America that we did in Nigeria. I have a lot of certifications, but I have never mentioned any of those in my office. You may need it at the point of entry, but when you are inside, nobody cares about the certificate you have or where you got it from. What they care about is what impact do you bring to the table? What are you able to change? We have problem in this particular project. Are you able to impact and bring solutions? That is what people are looking for. That is what people want to pay for. And how are you able to adapt, your adaptability capacity? And how are you able to coordinate yourself, your self-governance? How are you able to coordinate yourself, far beyond your paper credentials? That's what people want to see. The beautiful thing is you can learn these qualities. Some of you already have it. Some of you are probably already demonstrating these things, but it doesn't end there. You must build on them. You must build on them. What I'm saying now relates to you, whether you want to go into the corporate and become an office guy, or you want to go into entrepreneurship. These characters relate to you, and you must hold them firm. Now, I had said this earlier. Early decision compounds generously. What am I saying? I'm letting you know that if you set a picture of where you want to be in the next 5 years now, while you are still in school, and begin to plot how you can achieve that, you are most likely going to achieve better than someone that did not plot at all, someone that left it to chance. Let me tell you what plan and what setting targets for yourself does. You know, early this year, I said I was going to complete a particular project. And I said by June this year, by the 30th of June, I want to see that I have completed that project. And I needed significant amount of money to complete that project. One thing that that goal or that target did for me was I made the year really fast. You know, the year became really fast, as if something was chasing the year. And I'll be wondering, why is this year so fast? Why? Because I have a target. So I'm doing a lot of things to ensure that by 30th of June, I deliver that project. And, you know, it has helped me that sometimes when I'm supposed to be sleeping, I'm awake attending to client issues because I need these clients to make this payment for me to be able to go to the next milestone of that project because the deadline is approaching. That is what it does for you. If you put your plan on paper, and you are able to say, in the next 2 years, as an accountant, as an engineer, I want to have my current as an engineer. I want to have my ACC as an accountant. I want to have my nursing practice license as a nurse. Whatever profession that you're in, you are going to be pushed much more better than the person that did not set any target, someone that left it to chance. And I'm saying to you, make that decision now. Have clarity of what you want, please. If you forget anything, don't forget this. Have clarity of what you want to be or what you want to become. If I had that, it would have been easier because we just let the chance. We got a job, we're just earning salaries. No, have clarity. What kind of investment do I want to do with my first 6 months' salaries? Have clarity. Let it be clear. Even the Bible says that we should make the vision plain, so that anybody that sees it will run with it. What that also does for you is if your uncle, for instance, now asks you, what's your plan for the next 2 years? If you already have a written plan, it's easy to say, oh, I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. I may have this challenge, you know, I may need XYZ kind of finances to support me. It's better for you than someone that doesn't have at all. Another thing we must do is that we must have strategic networking. Now, my first job, I got it from a friend who, I was writing a certain exam then, and we met. There was an opening in his office. He called, and I applied. Somehow he assisted as well, and I got the job. See, there are some things that your certificate alone cannot do, but your network will do. You know, there are places where you have probably worked, maybe at the point of doing your IT, create the right character, create the right impression, and leave it with them. You know, have contacts there, not when they ask you to do this thing and you are carrying your face and they are wondering, well, what kind of student is this? No, create the right impression. Have contacts everywhere. You know, people do say that, you know, your professional network is your greatest career multiplier. Some people say your network is your net worth. And it is true. Imagine someone that has direct access to President Tinubu, also has access to maybe the governor of Lagos, and has access to the governor of Edo State, and he has unrestricted access to these people. The things that guy can think of and achieve, someone that doesn't have access may not be able to think of that. May not be able to phantom them because it doesn't have those assets. So keep connections, value them, even amongst your friends now. There are some that will just graduate and they will start making it big in life. That's the truth. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Some persons are going to graduate now. You may not hear from them in another 2 years, but the next time you'll be seeing them, you'll be wondering, have I been playing? But let it be that at that point, you are also holding it down for yourself. You are doing the right things for yourself so that you will not be pressured. Because if you are doing the right things, you know that you are on the right track. You may not have achieved as much, but you know you are on track. That is what is most important, and we must keep that in mind. Another thing we must do, because we are also saying we need financial stability, we must learn to be financially literate. We must learn to be financially literate. You know, earning salaries alone is not going to make you wealthy, whether you like it or not, because to a large extent, you can never be richer than the organization that you work for, as long as they are the ones paying you. So what did some people do? Some people are intrapreneurs. They are in their business place working and earning their salaries, but they also have some side gigs, some side hustles that they do and all that. I am an example of that. I work in an office, but I also have up to 5, 6 staff I pay every month. I think the least staff I have probably earn more than me from the job I do in the office. But I pay them every month, and I ensure that by 30th of the month, they must earn their salary once it's 12 midnight. Now, I really don't need to be I've distributed them to different clients. They work for those clients. I get my payment. I pay them their salary. They send me report on a weekly basis. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to be in a client's place right now, but after this meeting, I'm moving there to go and review because it's a public holiday. So I'm taking advantage of that to visit some that I've not visited for a while. But, you know, because I know that just paying immense salary, earning some bonuses in the office, doing all that may not be enough for me. I want you to ask yourself, what kind of salary do you intend to earn? Ask yourself this question. How much are they going to pay you and you feel, oh, I'm well paid? The president of Nigeria earned a salary of around 2 point something million. The president of Nigeria. The governor of Edo State earned about 2 point something million. I was once the director of payroll for Edo State, so I know how much everybody earns. So again, do they rely on those salaries? No, because there are a lot of other things that, you know, there was a time we made a mistake in the salary of a governor and he did not even notice that there was an error because he doesn't even know when that alert comes in. You know, you can be like that as well. You know, you can be like that because of other skills that you have developed. Is it content creation that you want to do? Some things that you can do at the comfort of your home, even maybe not in the comfort of your home, but something you can do that one day you decide to say, okay, I am no longer working for anybody. I want to go and move on to develop what I'm currently doing. So again, we must master the art of budgeting. You know, when you earn money, don't think I've earned this 300,000 and let me quickly buy all those things I've been wanting to buy. No, develop the habit of trying to save out of that. Like I said earlier, have a target for yourself. In the next 6 months, once I start working, I want to have an asset I have acquired for myself. It shouldn't be a car. No. There was the time I bought the first car I bought in 2011, 2012, just a year after graduation. Later, I regretted that maybe I should have used that money then to buy a land in Amagba. Because Amagba then, the area was terrible, but the land was selling for about 500,000 thereabout. Do you know how much they sell a property there now? 23 million cannot give you a property if you're in a good location there. So that's like how many years ago? Now, just buy an asset, keep it there and let it grow. You know, have that investment mindset. It's what I've come to develop. That there are pressure for you to change the kind of car you're using, have the recent cars, but that is noise in my own opinion. You know, have something that you're able to use, something that gives you comfort, but don't be too eager to show off. Desire to build substance for your life, you know. Desire to build substance. There's an image that's in this presentation that when I get there, I will explain further. Because of time, please move to the next slide. Let me quickly run through this. Okay, now the transition. Currently, you're a student because you are here to graduate. In the next few weeks or months, you'll become a graduate. You're a prospective graduate, and I would like to congratulate every one of you for that. It has not been easy. You know, a lot must have happened. Maybe at a point you probably weren't able to pay your fees. maybe at the point they drove you out of the hall. I know they drove me out of the hall one time, and I was also involved in driving people out of the hall at the point when I was working in BIA. So that probably happened. Maybe you couldn't really study as you should, and you had some carryovers and all that. All those are stumbling blocks you encountered while you were in school. Sometimes you have to stay out through the night, stay up through the night to study and ensure you prepare properly for an exam. Well done. You've done well for yourself. But the truth is, that's not all there is. There will be more challenges. But what we must do to prepare ourselves and fix that gap is one, we must move from thinking as students. We have to start thinking as professionals now. You have to start thinking as professionals. There's need to shift from that idea of I go to class, they teach me, and after a while, I go and read the books and I prepare for exam, I cram it, and at the end of the day, I have an A, B, or a C as the case may be. I must be able to start thinking now, how do I produce results? What are the problems that currently exist in sectors that I have interest in? I should start asking questions from people who have already probably made it in that sector, or people who are growing in that sector. What are the challenges in this sector? Because that's what I have interest in. I like to know what the problem is and begin to think, how do I bring solutions to this problem? And it will help you a lot, a great deal. It will help you a great deal. Now, dependence to responsibility. Now, one of the shock people have after graduation is that monthly or weekly allowances they bring for you, sometimes you no longer have it. Now, that should prepare your mind. Oh, okay, I have that should prepare your mind that it's time for me to, from looking for instructions, to start taking ownership, start taking a responsibility for your life. Know now that whatever decisions you take will impact your life, whether you like it or not. Now, qualifications to contribution. I want you to move from, it's no longer about what you have studied. Because at the end of the day, you may only make reference to your degree when you're applying and all that. By the time the interview comes, you start working, you won't come every day and say, oh, I have BSc accounting. I'm an ACA. No, what you'll be doing is every day you'll be contributing to the growth and the success of the organizations you find yourself. Please, the next slide, very quickly. I would run through these. Next slide, if you can hear me. Okay, thank you. Now, what are employees looking for? Or what are employers looking for? I beg your pardon. Now, I employ people for organizations. I also employ for my own firm. And I'll tell you things that rate highly is reliability. First of all, you have to be reliable. When at least show up every day. Every day, show up, ensure you are there. And when you are given a task, try to deliver on it. Don't be someone that is full of excuses. Oh, this is why I couldn't do it. This person did not do this part. Look for solutions. Just try to deliver. And I tell you, if you consistently deliver and you are reliable, the top is your destination. Now, communication. Now, I can't explain to you how important this is for the kind of future you desire for yourself. Your ability to communicate and express the things that you want to communicate. Your ability to articulate things. And that ability to articulate things, comes from your ability to study, understand things, read books, explore your area of interest, and even go beyond your area of interest and be widely read. So that when they ask questions and all that, you are able to effortlessly communicate. And this is crucial. Now, problem solving, we can't talk about that too much. That is what differentiates you from other colleagues. In a hall where there are 1,000 first-class graduates, all of them are tough guys, excellent guys. The people that will be different are those that are able to solve problems. Your ability to work within teams, and your teamwork is essential. Now, your learning agility, your ability to adapt, and not say this is how I know it. It has to be like this. No, be open to learning. Be open to change, and all that is critical. Please let's go to the next slide. So I'll quickly run through this. Okay, now let's just quickly look at 6 habits. I broke just in 2 slides. We'll look at those 6 habits. One is the professional foundation. Now, we have said it before, take ownership. Be accountable for your work. You know, I am in an office, and in that office, everybody sees me like the guy that the top management always call him. And sometimes I feel embarrassed. Sometimes I don't. I just tell myself I don't care, because I've seen situations where people are called to handle tasks and they give excuses. They tell you 1,000 reasons why they couldn't get it done. I'm not that kind of person. I look for a way to get that thing done. And whenever they call me for tasks that doesn't even belong to my department, and they say, that department head, work with Usahon and ensure that this thing is done, I look at them and I know why they did that. Even without the top management asking them to come to me, sometimes the other departments come and we work together just to achieve. I know why they come, because I look for a way to solve the problem. I will not give you an excuse. No. Then continuous learning. We've said that before. Invest in certification, whether online, whether you need to go and get a master's degree, get it done. You can actually do that while you're working. Get it done. Just keep developing yourself. What I tell myself is the reason why I'm going to get a PhD now is because I don't want to be in any situation and somebody has a degree better than I do and they'll say, okay, give it to this guy. No. No. I want to ensure I have all factor authentication. God, yes, I have it. The degree, yes, I have it. The technical ability, yes, I have it. So if you are going to give it to someone else, let it be probably that person has a factor that I don't have. And I think that is important for you as well. Communicate effectively. These are habits you can develop. Learn to communicate. Learn to continuously learn. Learn to take ownership. And I think that will help you. And I think you have always been told that in Benson University as one of the core values, ownership mentality, learning to take ownership. You are taking that to the workplace. The next slide. Okay, now we need to build relationship. Your network is your net worth. Now, create meaningful professional connections, not anyhow kind of connections. Connections that align with your aspirations, connections that align with the kind of life or the kind of things you want to do. Connections with people that contribute to your dreams. You know, I read a story online about a guy who worked in like 6 different banks, and in each of those employments, it's usually someone from the previous employment probably left, referring him in a new role, and just like that, because those connections are very important for us. Now we need to manage our time. One of the challenges I had earlier on was I was my own biggest challenge, because sometimes I'll just procrastinate things. Sometimes I'll say, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And I realized that this was beginning to affect my client relationships. I realized that instead of settling 2 cases today, I now had probably 6 cases to settle for clients. And sometimes you may not be able to meet up. So the main important thing is show up and, manage the time you have. Allot time to different activities, to different clients, or to different tasks that you have. You have KPIs, break these KPIs into different times that you want to achieve them, and you will see what will happen to you. You can never be at the bottom, never. Now you have to be financially disciplined. Save before you spend. There's this pressure to spend. There's this pressure to meet up. Try to avoid that pressure. It's very important. Avoid lifestyle inflation. Invest early to build sustainable wealth. Now, to the next slide before we take our questions. Okay, good. Now, there's a graph here, and it's career growth and financial discipline. Now, early career, you see that you are almost there at the bottom. But when you get to senior professional level, you are there. There's opportunity for wealth compounding. Now, salary will help you stay in this early career position and probably just grow. But again, that you are a senior professional will not mean that you are now a wealthy person. What will make you wealthy is that you have involved yourself in activities that compound wealth. What are those activities that compound wealth? You have been investing. You have not been spending as you are receiving. You have been investing. Whether you are investing in real estate, you are investing in assets that are able to return your investment. Just invest. If you want to know the kind of investment you can go into, that will be another engagement and all that. But learn. You can even go on AI now, one of these AI platforms, and indicate your interest and ask them to advise you on the kind of investment you can go into as a fresh graduate. And it will help you. Now, just any salary is not what will make you wealthy, but if you can learn the habit of, continuously, taking advantage of opportunities and you are disciplined with it, you create wealth. There's no two ways about it. Next slide. Now, one thing you must do as a graduate or intending graduate or prospective graduate now is that you must begin to build your own brand. When I graduated, at a point, maybe after 2 to 3 years, I was into a lot of things. When I was a student, I was into printing. I was into a lot of things. I was a graphics designer. I was into a lot of things. And when I graduated, I realized I had a lot of things in my hand. And I decided, after some years, Osan, what do you want to be known for? And I said, I want to be a consultant. And I want to be a finance consultant. I had to start putting some things away intentionally. I stopped doing graphics design, although clients were still coming. If I feel that the money is good, I do the design. But at the point, I totally left graphics design. I now focused on financial consulting. I now focused on investment. I focused on my work, and I now had a direction. Now, when people see you after a few years, they should know you by what you do. That is what this means. Now, and again, when you are doing that, you must create the right kind of reputation, because the reputation you are creating is the currency. If you are a business person, if you are going to get recommendations for job, it is the kind of characters you have displayed that will determine whether people will recommend you or not. Most of the clients I have for finance consulting, tax consulting, whether recruitment consulting, are people that were recommended by people that have rendered services to before. So your reputation is currency. In the professional world, what people say about you when you are not in the room determines the opportunity that comes your way. Imagine if you are being discussed for a role. Probably you're about to be promoted to probably the manager of a branch or something, and somebody gives a negative review, and 2 other persons correlate and say, "Oh, it's true." Do you think you get that job? You hardly get it, except God intervenes. You may not get it. Competence and integrity. Be known for doing great work. Competence and being trustworthy. In fact, integrity will pay you so much. Some people are competent, but they don't have integrity. So people are, they are careful. Sometimes they just reluctantly give you the job, and then they follow you up bumper to bumper and all that. But if you have both, the sky is your limit. One without the other is a career liability. So it's important. Your brand is a promise you keep to your employers, clients, and network. Next slide. Okay. Now, a 5-year roadmap I try to think out for that will help us. In year 1, it's good that we absorb culture, and because there will be culture shock. Sometimes when you move from school into the workplace, it's not like campus. It's a different world entirely. The first day you come to the office, somebody might decide to tell you, "Go and buy me beans and bread." And you are wondering, I will not. And I remember one time in the office, I was working in BIE. Somebody asked somebody to go and buy beans 500 and bread. And the person was looking. That guy was, I think she was a new employee. And she was surprised, like, I cannot even go and buy. How will I go there and tell them I want to buy beans 500 and bread? I can't even do that on my own. But guess what? You have to do it, because your boss that is asking you to go do that. There will be culture shock, but you have to adjust to those things. You might not be in that kind of corporate that will ask you to buy beans and bread, but I'm just giving you the extreme scenario. And Then ask questions, master tools, and find mentors. Ask questions, always ask questions. Questions will not kill you. That's just the truth. Ask questions. At a point, I had a boss one time, and anytime she says, do this, do this, do this, and when she's done, I'll say, man, for clarity, do you mean I should do this? I should do that? I should. When there are variances between what I thought she asked me to do and what she actually wants me to do, she will say, no, I meant this. So ask questions, get clarity. It is important. Consistent results. In year two, you should be targeting consistent results. Exceed your key performance indicators, that's your KPIs. Build reliability and start taking ownership. In year three, you should be trying to get your niche. People should start knowing you for something. Whether you're a professional, whether you're now a chartered accountant, but just have a good skill that people now know you for and have that target and keep building up those skills and all that. Year four, you should start influencing people and all that. Projects, you can study project management, mentoring, how to mentor your juniors and all that. And in year five, you should have strategic value. Add strategic value. You should be able to make decisions. You should be able to have network within the industry already that if you decide to move to the next job, it will not be a problem. So next slide, please. I'm almost done. Okay, resilience and growth. The truth is, in all these beautiful things I've been saying, there will be setbacks. You may even look for a job for a while and you may not get it. It's the truth. You may be looking that, oh, when I'm done with this, I'm going to work in oil and gas. And when you come out, even the granite oil company, the red oil companies, you won't see to work. And if you even see, some people will be offering you 70,000 per month, and you'll be wondering, well, I paid how much as school fees in BIU. And you start, just 2 days ago, I met a student of BIU who shared the CV with me. She's working with somebody, and when I heard this, I was shocked. And I said, okay, share your CV with me. Let's see what we can do. This is someone who graduated over 6 years ago. So expect setbacks, but be strong and build yourself and to become resilient. It is very important. Pivoting, remain resilient. If a door closes, look for window. Just look, the door is closed now, there's nothing I can do. Be dogged. Look for the window. If you need to go and speak to the boss himself and say, oh, this is what I can offer, ensure you have a solution. Look for the window. Now, continuous improvement. Always be kind. Always be the kind of professionals organizations cannot ignore. Always be the kind of professionals organizations cannot ignore. The next slide, I think that's it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I would like to say this, like I said earlier, I'd like to repeat it, that it should be the kind of professional organizations cannot ignore. The truth is, if you bring solutions to the table, even when people say bad things about you, and those things don't align with your character, the organization will hardly let you go because you bring solutions. They know the cost of training new people to come and bring this. There are some colleagues I have. There are literally one or two of them that can provide certain solutions. And the state holds them in high esteem because of what they do. You should be that kind of person. Thank you very much. I will entertain questions now, feedbacks, and anything you want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Osanhon, for that insightful session. It was really insightful. I'm sure a lot of our students can agree with me that it was an insightful session. I mean, especially when you said you have to be known for something. What will you be known for? If in the next 5 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, you're already in a career and there's no, when they say your name, no identity
Nothing
pops up in
clicks.
anybody's head.
Yeah.
You may have to start rethinking where you are and pivot if possible. So you need to know what you will be known for in the next 5 years. Know it now and start working towards it. You heard him say he was in a place at one point in his life where it came to him. He was doing several gigs, making money, but then when they call his name, at the mention of his name, nothing comes up. There's no identity to him. And immediately he did what was necessary, positioned himself. And today, at the mention of Mr. Justin Omorodion, you hear finance expert, finance consultant to government, director at the Ministry of Finance. You know. So my point is, know what you want to be called tomorrow in 5 years. If we're calling Peter Moses, what will come to people's heads? Are you going to be that lawyer that is at the bench, or the lawyer that just has a Bachelor of Laws degree and you are looking for a job everywhere, or you don't know what you're doing with your life? So know what you want to do in 5 years. Picture yourself now in 5 years, what you should be, and start working towards it. Do you want to be a sonographer in 5 years? Picture it now and start working towards it. What steps do you need to take to get to a sonographer? Do I need
Exactly.
to take another course? Do I need to take prerequisites if I don't have it? Do I need to japa to attain being sonographer? So start picture the career, and then start taking actionable steps towards that identity. Thank you so much, Mr. Osaon, for this
Thank you very
insightful conversation. It's been a pleasure having you here. And we'll take
much.
questions now if you have. Mr. Joshua, please lead the questions, and so we can wrap up this session. It's been an insightful time with you, and we appreciate you for your time. Please,
Thank
if you
you
would
very
like to
much
reach
for having
Mr. Osaon, he's very, very open. In fact, is one person that if you just say, please, can you help me with this, is willing to assist, and he'll be ready to advise. So connect with him on his LinkedIn page. Look out for him. These speakers that have come today, look out for them, connect with them. If you have questions, if you have areas you need clarity on, ask them. They're always ready to help and clarify. Okay, so thank you once again, sir, and I'll hand over
Thank
to
you very much.
Joshua, our moderator.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, Mr. Justin.
So
Absolutely an
thank you,
amazing
Joshua. Thank you.
from start to finish. Please, if you have questions, do also drop your questions right now. Also, the link for attendance is going to be coming up right now, so do well to click on the link and fill in your attendance appropriately. But whilst that is happening, if you do have questions, ensure you drop your questions right now. Thank you so much, sir. That was like an absolutely amazing session from start to finish. It was very insightful. You touched on a lot of things that had been on my mind for a while, and
Thank
I'm
you.
genuinely just grateful for the opportunity. I'm going to the comment section right now, and it seems as though I have not received any questions now. But Mrs. Omoka did mention the fact that we can always reach out to you on your LinkedIn profile. So if any question comes in at any time, after you leave us, because I know you have a busy schedule today, you made mention of you have a client to meet after this meeting. So we want to keep you for long. We just want to say a big thank you. So a lot of the comments I'm seeing is thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Like genuinely, the people that have been a part of this are absolutely grateful to have you with
Thank you
us.
very
Thank you
much.
so much,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Justin.
Thank you. So do I have permission to take my leave?
Yes, sir, you do. You do. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
sir.
much.
Thank
Thank
you
you. I
so much,
appreciate
sir.
it.
Okay, so like I said, the link for the attendance should or has already been dropped by now. Please do well to fill through your attendance. Like I said, this is not roll call. This is the actual attendance, and today has been an absolutely, absolutely amazing time from start to finish. Okay, so Peter saying, was there ever a time you couldn't meet a deadline? Okay, Peter, your question will be said to him, I guess, privately, because he has already left us to go meet his clients, which he did made mention of. Um, sorry, please excuse me. Give me a second. I'm seeing questions of where's the attendance link? Where's the attendance link? Okay, the link is it will be dropped in your comment section very soon. The team in charge of attendance, this is a good time to get the job done. But that aside, today has been an absolutely amazing time. from start to finish. We've had wonderful sessions from Mr. Diamond Fianca, who spoke with us about career positioning, which was super, super insightful. Mr. Diamond Fianca spoke with us about career readiness, positioning yourself for success beyond graduation. And then subsequently, we had Mr. Daniel Melekwe, the Microsoft Cisco CBN guy, an amazing, amazing man. He spoke on digital economy and the use of AI and how it translates to what you do business wise on your personal endeavor. And then we just concluded off with an amazing session with Mr. Justin Omoridion, who talked about workplace transitioning. Okay, so somebody's asking, how can we become financially literate? Okay, very insightful question. Your questions will be sent to him privately, and then the answers will be dropped on your group chat. Well, you've asked the question like 3 times. The answers will be dropped on your group chats. So whilst we're still waiting for the attendance thing to pop on, which is a minor glitch on our end, give me a moment. Let me check on what's going on, and then you would get feedback subsequently. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay on the live so that you can do all other necessary things. Okay, everyone. The information reaching me now is that the attendance link has already been dropped on your GC, and the attendance code has now been dropped in the comment section. So do well to fill in the link, use the right attendance code, and fill your attendance pretty much. Mrs. Omoka, are you still with us? Do you have anything you want to say to the students before we call the session a wrap? Okay, so Mr. Maka is not with us at the time. Anyway, okay, she is here. But before I call her up, I'm seeing mention of the conversation of NYSC prep. Awesome. So for the NYSC prep conversation, that unfortunately won't be happening today. And the facilitator we had prepped for this cancelled kind of like last minute, so there was really nothing we could do. But as an institution, Benson Dawson University has a division in the academic office that handles NYSC related matters. So subsequently, they'll be having a separate session with the graduating class of 2026 to prep you on all things NYSC. We just wanted to have this as an extension of that session. But now that would also be happening, when the dates be communicated to each and every one of you subsequently, and then you can be part of that session. But we apologize for not having the NYSC prep conversation. It was something beyond our control, and it was so last minute, so we could not prep the minds of each and every person that'll be coming for this. But today has been an amazing one, all the same, even without the NYSC prep. But remember, the NYSC prep conversation will be happening with BIU as an institution, separate from, not like separate from, but in conjunction with all the things that we've spoken about or talked about today. Now to wrap up the session with Mr. Moka is here with us. I'll be bringing her upstage to just wrap up the session. It's been an amazing time fast spent. Mrs. Omoka, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, please. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time. Thank you for staying till the end. I hope that you have learned, you have gotten insights from this, session from the sessions we've had. I want to sincerely thank you for staying, and I'm glad that there's been meaningful conversations on this live career readiness, entrepreneurship mixed with AI and technology for us to leverage on, as well as professional habits that are required for career and financial growth. So, all these messages that have gone, from the presentations we've had are just to have you do one thing. They're not to they're not for you to just know them, they're for you to act on them. Okay, make actionable steps on these notes that you have taken down, so that when you look back tomorrow, say 5 years from now, you'll be like, okay, you beat yourself, you pat yourself on the shoulder to, to say, okay, yes, I did what I needed to do to get to this point. Okay. Don't forget the value of networking. Please, is very important. Try to go out of your shell. What's the worst that can happen? They say no. But 90% of the time, it doesn't happen when you reach out to alumni. So network, network, network. Maintain good relationship with the people that you know now, and expand your area, your circle of influence. Okay, don't just isolate, like he said, don't isolate, reach out. Okay, you don't know it all. Okay, have an open mind to learn, have an open mind to pivot if you know that where you are at any point in time is not you know is not translating into any economic value for you. Don't stay where is not happening for you. Always have an open mind to pivot at any point in time. There's never any time. There's no right time to pivot. We learn every day. We can always change careers any day. So make sure that you do things that people know you for. You have a strong identity, you know, for yourself, and at the end, it's also translating into proper economic value for you, so that you can be a blessing to others. So we look forward to seeing the impact that you make as graduates,
Very
as
true.
professionals,
Very true.
as entrepreneurs, as future leaders, and congratulations in advance on your graduation. We wish you success in all your future endeavors. Congratulations. Thanks, and God bless.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you to everyone who has been a part of this from the beginning to end. Thank you to all our speakers. It has been an absolutely amazing session. We apologize once again for the time stretch. It's just the thing that happened, pretty much beyond our control. But in the very end, we can see that we had an amazing session. And big shout out to the institution BIU, big shout out to the patron of LSC, none other than Bishop Feb Idahusa. He's so invested in the growth of BI students, and he's in major parts in the Life Success Center and even the L300. So thank you so much, sir. And to our Chancellor, Archbishop Margaret Idahusa, thank you so much, Ma. To VC, every other person that we've not thanked, thank you. It's been an amazing time, and this is where we draw the curtains on the Lsc finale for the Novara class of 2026. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night.